fellow Southern Cameroonians, fellow Ambazonians. This is Capo Daniel, your civil liberty activist. Today coming to you live with a presentation. I'm going to have as guest today the AGC State Department diplomat, Mr. Eugene Ufoka, who is going to join me to give us an update and an in-depth into the diplomatic offensive in Sweden that had led to the United Nations Security Council backing of our case by the representative of the representative of Sweden in the United Nations Security Council. So we are going to have a lot of issues to discuss and to present to you today. So fellow Ambazonian, fellow Southern Cameroonians, you are once more welcome to this platform, a civil liberty advocacy platform. And you are welcome to this The No Spin Zone show, in which we try to bring to you, the Ambazonian people, the truth, and try to bring to you a balanced view of Amba politics, Amba analysis, and advocate for our struggle and our nation, the values of civility, the value of civil liberty, human right, good governance, accountability. So I am your host, Capo Daniel, the civil liberty activist. We are going to start with our national anthem, and as usual have a song, the same song today, a revolutionary song. Two people actually had contacted me, both of them requesting the same song, the Southern Sudan song Luluwe. So you are all highly welcome to this platform. Once again, I'm going to take time to greet everybody. I encourage you to share the links for a more interactive presentation. So we are going to have an extensive, in-depth analysis, conversation, and debate with the State Department official, a young diplomat, a millennial like myself, who we have come to represent the youth face of this struggle. So we are going to have him in a while. And after the national anthem, the song, we are going to launch straight into my opening statement and a brief presentation, which is going to be primarily an address to the speech of the spokesperson of the ASC platform presentation, which he titled, "Who is in Control of Ground Zero?" So ladies and gentlemen, to begin our platform today, we are going to have a minute of silence to pay respect to the passing and the burial of one of our heroes, a personal friend of Mancho BBC, a revolutionary, an instrumental player on the ground. And he is no other person but Akum Julius. So I want to take a moment of silence, and I'm going to turn my back and give the camera my back for a moment of silence to pay respect and tribute to a young man, a very powerful revolutionary, Mr. Akum Julius, who passed away in exile, and he has been very crucial in helping in Ground Zero. So ladies and gentlemen, before our national anthem, let us have a minute of silence for the burial of Akum Julius. And I'm going to turn my back to present the passing of the burial of Akum Julius. And we also take this moment to give this moment of silence as well to all those who have giving their life for the struggle of our independence. So ladies and gentlemen, we thank God, we pray for the family of all those who have paid the ultimate price for our freedom. We pay respect for all those who have given their life in the defense of our homeland, the defense of their families and their blocks. We also give tribute to the family members of all those who have left behind, whose life were taken short by the struggle for the emancipation and the decolonization of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. And once more, I salute all our men and women who are on the ground battling for our liberty. I also want to salute all their commanders who are abroad, and I also want to salute every Ambazonian who have enabled and tried to empower them in this fight by financing the armed resistance. And I also want to salute all the activists out there who are spending hours and hours of their time to make sure that we put out there the voice of those who are on the ground, and to make sure that we keep the flame burning. I also salute all of our leaders, the 7+1 leaders, the 7 nationalist leaders, plus the leader of the IG. I salute them for their courage and their stance and their resilience for our struggle. So we are going to go now, play the national anthem to pay tribute to our flag, our nation. And I invite you to share the link during this period so that we have a more interactive presentation today. So ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. You can join me as we sing the national anthem. Sorry, I'll have to play it. Just kind of. Hail this land of glory, we the Amazonians pledge our loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us our freedom. Allegiance to the hero who brought this land with their blood. Glory to glory, we rise to never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, once more you are welcome to the No Spin Zone, a show dedicated for the struggle of the emancipation and decolonization of the southern Cameroons. So this is our moment where I greet all the participants and the followers and the first timers of this platform. So Mr. Shekavi, the Amber Warrior, I throw you salute, my brother. And I would like everybody, when you greet, please you drop your location so that we can greet those people alongside you. And you're all welcome. Jumtala, you are welcome. Yes, you are in the diaspora in La République du Cameroon. So today we are going to have a very, very interesting cross talk with Mr. Eugene Ufoka, whom you know is one of the face of the diplomacy of Ambazonia. And we are very happy to have him today, to host him, to listen to him, as well as to have some straight talk, no spin talk with him as well. So we are going to have a very interesting opening statement today as well. So Thierry, you are welcome. Ashu Atam, welcome. Paul Balinka, welcome. Kum Awa, welcome from UAE. UAE. I salute you, my brother. They have a powerful community there. Johan, welcome. Lily Akyambum, you are welcome. You are welcome. Ashu Atam, you are welcome. It looks like there are a lot of people in Dubai. Get in touch with Professor Bashir in Oman. He's a very resourceful person there. From Pakistan, Wajud, I salute you, my brother. I like your comments. Very interesting. You are welcome. From Barcelona, Glad Mbemsi, I throw you salute. You are highly welcome. All man for Ground Zero, I salute Runa. So all of you are highly welcome as we listen to this revolutionary song. You are all highly welcome. J. Julius from China, from the strong Ambazonia group AMIC China, Ambazonia Mobilization Initiative China. I salute you for all the great job you and your leader Primus and the rest of the people in China have been doing for the struggle. Adeline Akawum, you are highly welcome. Yeah, who is trying to call me? I have you are all highly welcome. John from Dubai. A lot of people from Dubai. I salute you. I encourage you to share the link. We are having a no spin zone today, and we have a lot of material, a lot of things to cover. Please share the link for a more interactive platform today. So please, we salute all the Ambazonian people from all over Ambazonia. I want to throw salutes to all. Please, who is this calling me? I'm so sorry. I'm having a lot of So once more, fellow Ambazonia, this is Capo Daniel. We are having a non-spin zone presentation today as guest Mr. Eugene, the diplomat, the young face of the diplomacy of Ambazonia. We are going to have him, and we are going to have an extensive presentation today addressing the speech of the chairperson of the ASC. We want to greet everybody. Lily Akiambrom from China. Wow, you are from China. Are you? I'm sure you must know Primus from the group Amik. It's a powerful group in China. I salute everybody on the audience today from China. I want to salute all our people in Ground Zero from the great state of Ndian. I salute all the people from the great state of Meme, from the great state of Momo, from the great state of Manfe, from the great state of Fako, from the great state of Mezam. Salute. From the great state of Bakassi. Salute. From the great state of Bui, salute. People from Banso, salute. People from Donga and Mantum. People from Meme State, salute. This is Capo Daniel, and I salute our powerful revolutionary leader, the charismatic and only one and only Dr. Ayapacho. Salute. I call you Cafe Chairman, CIC. And everybody who is in the forum today, I throw you salute, and you are all highly welcome to this no spin zone, this platform where we advocate for fairness, we advocate for civil liberty, human rights for every Ambazonian, irrespective of your political views and irrespective of your group. You are all highly welcome. We have a lot of material to cover today. I encourage everybody to share the link. Why? Before we have Mr. Ufoka Eugene, the State Department official of the AGC. He has a lot of material. We are going to have a very interesting discussion today, and I'm also going to make it in a crosstalk format. So please stay tuned for that and for the opening statement as well, because it's going to be very, very rich. Emmanuel Mbang, Atroyu Salute. Mandalen Pa, Atroyu Salute. Who say you did? Ambazonia Oboso, that name's Oboso. I don't like that country talk. You know, say that French and all that Ewundo Bulu talk them all na symbol of oppression. So Sheriff from Georgia, Atlanta, you are highly welcome. I throw you salute. So today we have an extensive presentation, and it's going to be a very powerful presentation, fresh, bold, from the millennials, the youth of the struggle. And goodbye to La Republic of Grand Pass, and welcome to Ambazonia of the youth, where our leaders believe in the energy of the youth and they trust even the leaderships of the youth. So you are all highly welcome. Anyi Titi, you are welcome from Yokohama, Japan. So that is it. We come to the end of Luluwe, a Southern Sudanese revolutionary music, which is an inspiration for me and a lot of activists in Southern Sudan who are my very close friends. I've been very involved in their struggle as well. At that time, we didn't have a struggle going on. I've learned a lot on how they do their publicity, their activism, and I have a lot of good friends in Southern Sudan. A lot of people use Southern Sudan as a bad example, but trust me, within 10 to 15 years from today, you look at Southern Sudan, you will not believe that place, because liberty unleashes all human potentials. I live in Hong Kong. I'm a citizen of Hong Kong, Ambazonia, and Ambazonia. I can tell you that Hong Kong have no mineral resources. They have zero everything, but it is one of the most richest cities in the world. It is more richer even than New York. You will never see anything when you talk about metropolitan city. You need to come to Hong Kong. And the only thing they have is liberty. They have freedom, they have open markets, and they have a good judiciary, good governance, and the sky is their limit. They borrow money to a lot of countries. So with Ambazonia, we have to understand that even without petrol, without anything, God made us to function in liberty. And when you have restrictions, you have tyrants, you have people, they may think it's sometimes easier to go that way, but at the end, it's just death. So, Mami Jera, the powerful Ambazonian lady. So I will officially start the show. I'll officially start the show. I'm going to give a rundown with my opening statement, with my address and presentation. I expect it to last for about 25 minutes. And then we are going to invite our guest today, Mr. Ufoka Eugene, the State Department officials of the AGC, to bring us an in-depth analysis, an in-depth look into in the over 2 years diplomatic effort they have had with the Swedish government. As well, it's going to be a conversation and a crosstalk, because I've had a lot of people from that community in Sweden contact me about his publication as well as his diplomacy. And this is not the first time we have had similar instances like that. So it's going to be a very interesting moment for us to dissect this issue. So ladies and gentlemen, we started today to salute Akuma Fru, who passed away. He was a very personal friend of Manchu BBC. We saw him at Manchu BBC. We have also worked with him on this platform initially in one of my first initiative in this struggle, the Diaspora Initiative, in helping them and supporting them during the launching when Manchu BBC appeared on the Coffin Revolution. So he's somebody that we have seen him working, and we salute him. We salute all those who have died as well. So we straight away, in my opening statement, I want to start by giving the same wise saying as the one of last week. So the wise saying today remains the same as the one of last week, which is, man we enough for dance, in the dance never cheer. Man we enough for dance, in the dance never cheer. Come on, dance for floor me, all man see a style. Yes, that is our wise saying of today. Man we sabi for dance, in the dance never cheer. Stand up dance move, see I'm not beginning to she don't cheer. The she shake your head, the may make your skin. Let's say you know how for dance. Man we enough for dance, in the dance never cheer. That is a wise saying of today. And also we want to talk about, to throw a word about the Ambazonian calling. Growing up, we have been used to, as an Anglophone, in quote, we used to listen to, over the radios, TV, we used to hear about Cameroon calling. It was one of those corners that on Sunday, even as a young man, I watched my father do it, and I do the same thing. I come up near the radio to listen to Cameroon calling. It was a place of hope where you could hear an unfiltered reality presentation of the politics in La République du Cameroon. So today we have the senior journalist, the human rights activist, Tumfoin Bo Herbert, has launched the Ambazonia Calling. The first edition is out. I have published it on my Facebook page. He has published it on his YouTube. You can check it out. Just search Tumfoin Bo Herbert or Ambazonian Calling. It is a wonderful presentation. I have had about 5 people who called me just today to talk about it. And people are saying, why is this not on Scan Network? I understand Scan Radio is a production and a radio station of Chris Anu. I don't know if it has any public funds, but people want to hear about that. People want to hear the voice of Bo Herbert there. And people have also wondered, should this man not be on SCBC? SCBC is supposed to be the state media house where it's supposed to broadcast every Ambazonia, irrespective of your political opinion or your group affiliation. And people were suggesting that this Cameroon calling, if you look at it, it's so full, so rich, so professional. And you know Tumfoin, he's a God-given, he has a talent, he's a great communicator. And people are wondering, should this man not be on SCBC? He could record his thing even on video and put it on SCBC for the Ambazonian people to listen. There are a lot of people in Ambazonia. I tell from Oku. There is one pa from Oku who always call me. He will go to a place where I have network and he will call me. I don't need to give his name. He have people come to his house to watch SCBC, and they are not privileged with videos that are very heavy to download online. So we will usually send audio messages to our people who are on ground zero, and a TV that started up like SCBC was a dream for us all. It's unfortunate that today people like Bo Herberts, their material are not shown there. I will appeal to their moral conscience that the people of that SCBC should consider their policy. I have heard that a new person have come there and they are talk that he is trying to change. We have seen they invited somebody like Lucas, who is a very independent activist, to go there on a panel, but he didn't come out there. So I hope that a real change in SCBC, if they are serious about changing, because they are beneficiary of the Ambazonians funds, they should open up for every major movement, not just for activists here and there, but they should open up their platform for every movement to be able to speak to that through that platform. In particularly in light of the launching of the Ambazonian Voice, we call upon SCBC to have that conversation with Tumfo and Bo Herbert to have it on that show. That material is second to none. There is no number two when it comes to journalism with Tumfo and Bo Herbert. It is a minus when you cut off people like that. So thirdly, we want to talk about the video we shared this week of a woman in the camp. The camps in the forest, they have named their camps to enable our boys to navigate their way and go from camp to camp. There is a camp called Camp 4 in the bush, in the forests in the southern zone. We have shared a video of a woman. She's dancing, she's singing about Ambazonia, talking about Ambazonia is going to be free. That image was so powerful. To all those who are out there, they are weary, they are tired, they are feeling hopeless because they look at the challenges we face as a people, and they don't know about our aspiration as our dream to become a free people, a free knowledge, or a free country. They will look at that woman. They should draw inspiration from that woman, that even though she has left her home, she has left everything, she could not even stay in her farmhouse, she is now in the forest, she could hold her young baby and she could smile, she could dance and say that Ambazonia will be free. And that is what they are fighting for. In my publication of her video, I also appeal to all the Cameroonians, all the Ambazonians who are down in ground zero, who are in the lion's den, who are unable to express themselves properly, in particularly those who are privileged to give interviews and attend debate in Equinox and in Canada, that they should look at the inspiration from people like this woman who are fighting, who are being targeted because they stood up on the 1st of October to say that they want independence. We know that the reasons they are killing people is because they have demanded for independence. And as they want this war to continue, an end of this war for La Republique is when the people will stop asking for the independence. So they are killing them because they have asked for independence. We want all those who have been brave so far to take it another step. Because of women like this, please, you have to articulate the truth. You have to face the consequences, because our people deserve people to stand up for them and fight for them. You have to go on TV, on those debates, on those platforms, and tell the whole world and tell the whole La Republique community that these people are being killed because they are asking for independence. They are not being killed for any other reason. There is not a struggle going on that it is not defined. They are out there because they want independence. That is why they are killing them. The war is on because some people are asking for independence. And for them, this war can only stop when they stop asking for independence. So let those who have privileges, let them not be afraid. Say the truth and better die. So that is what we will encourage them. I know that we are not in the same position as they, but they should count their position as being very privileged to have the opportunity to save us. We are seeing them picking up their courage to speak up more. We encourage them to do that. And another issue we want to talk about was the issue of Patrick Nangang. Patrick Nangang is due to testify in front of the United States Congress on the 26th of this month. We call up all of the Ambazonian communities to support them, and those who are in New York to make sure that they go and sit along with him. This platform had appealed to the interim government to make sure that Mr. Patrick Nangang is provided with all the legal instruments, the legal documents that he requires, because on his Facebook page he had talked about the lack of those documents. He said that we should not send him videos because he has all those things, but he was talking about he wants materials, legal materials. So we also encourage and we use this opportunity to appeal to the interim government that in a case like this, they're supposed to have written a letter and asked Mr. Patrick Nangang to facilitate them, even write a letter to the State Department, ask them to facilitate them, to have some Southern Cameroon indigenous people who have actually lived through this experience to sit there alongside Patrick Nangang. We know that the United States Congress have the right to choose or invite whoever they want to testify about something. And Patrick Nangang is a very good person, which we have seen his interviews. He can articulate our struggle very well. But a lot of people are thinking that they also need an Ambazonia to be there also to testify about what is going on. It is not our prerogative who goes there or not, but the job of those who are representing the struggle and those who present themselves as the officials or the leaders of the struggle. They have the right, they have that duty to make sure that they advocate and they fight for us. So they should have written, they will still have enough time, a lobby to make sure that an Ambazonia participate in that forum. And one Ambazonian who is a powerful writer, a professor in a prominent university in America, contacted me because he also wanted to be there, and he has tried to contact some people in the interim government to be able to go alongside and participate there. And I'm also using the opportunity to tell everybody that in America alone, we have over 1,000 professors who are teaching in the universities in America. And we have to try to tap into this group of people, because we have a lot of writers who have written about Ambazonian struggle. They usually call it the Southern Cameroon problem or the Anglophone problem. They have to look at these people because they have a track record. They have a good mastery of our subject matter. These are the type of people that we need within our institutions, who we need to push them ahead there to speak for us. So there are a lot of people. I even wanted to mention some of the people that I know. You have, for example, Dr. Emmanuel Tata, who is in Minnesota. He's a political scientist and a writer who have written extensively about our struggle. Somebody like that should have been approached to go and speak for us. There are a lot of Ambazonian powerful people who are not involved in this struggle just because we have not approached them. So we know that everybody has to step up, but sometimes our leaders, they have to take initiative to approach resourceful people. They have to contact them. There is also Biondi. Biondi is a wonderful writer and you have Francis Binyanjo from South Africa. These are big professors who have written extensively about our struggle. And we even have the University of there was a university who wrote a letter to the American government and the United Nations. In Europe there is I forgot the name, in Amsterdam. They wrote extensively about our struggle, and they were talking about engaging some writers who are Ambazonians to be able to speak for us. We don't just have to rely on people, country heads to do the diplomacy. They have to contact experts. We need experts. We have to tap in experts, bring in the best people. A lot of people are there, they are quiet, they are not even involved in this struggle that we can bring. They have to bring people, leaders, they have to do their job to tap into this issue. Another issue that is happening on the 20th of June in the United Kingdom. It is a very decisive moment in the case of Ambazonia against the British government. The case that was brought to the British court by Mikwele is going on the 20th of this month. Everybody who is in the United Kingdom, please, you have to be on the court to make sure that the judges will see the crowd and know that he is not just representing himself, but he is representing the interest of the entire 4 million Ambazonians. So everybody should be there, and we should encourage Mr. Mikwele. I have reached out to him personally. It didn't go down quite well, but because you know, we are all different. But we are monitoring the situation. It is a very big big case. If this case comes through, it is going to force the British government to act on our behalf and assume its responsibility in the decolonization of our territory. So there is also, people have contacted me, this forum, to talk about the issue of the citizen levy. You know, when the SCACUF came up, they have instituted a website with the issue of the controversial webmaster and the PayPal account of Atta Milan. Some people, their credit card are still issuing citizen levy, and they want to know about that money. All the money people are paying, monthly money they are contributing into that fund. Is the webmaster, is the interim government still in control of that website or not? And people, the money which is going inside, is that money being utilized or not? I'm going to follow up on that because I had this inquiry today, but I want to put it out there on the public court because it is a public interest that people should be aware that people are asking about the citizen levy. People are still paying it through their credit cards, and a lot of people are still paying into that money. Our interim government is going to be contacted for a feedback on that. So there is another issue now, which is something which is very extensive, which I want to present. It's a primary issue of my opening statement, which is an address to Mr. Ufoka. So, fellow Ambazonian, as you know very well, I am an activist. As an activist in this struggle, I've taken upon myself the rule to be a vanguard. That means I make sure everybody is in line. I make sure I hold all of our leaders accountable to what they say and what they are supposed to do and what they are supposed to say. And when they make a promise, I make sure to the Ambazonian people, I make sure I follow up, that they produce results to the promises that they make. And when they say things, I make sure that they are not deceiving the Ambazonian people or taking them for a ride. That is my rule as an activist. So when people make statements, I analyze them, I make sure that you are not being taken for a ride, and I give you my opinion on those statements. I try to present a fair, balanced view of those statements. So this is the reason why I am taking upon the address of Mr. Ufoka, who actually came on this platform and made certain statements. I'm going to address them, and also going to address his statement which he titled, "Who Controls All the Fighting Forces in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia?" I'm going to address it, but first I will start by what a statement he made here, which I did not address it directly in front of him. Not because I didn't want to do so, but because I think out of respect, I just allow it to go. But I will start by addressing that one because a lot of water have gone under the bridge during this period. The first thing is when Mr. Ufoka came over, I invited him. He came to my platform. He made some statement. The statement he made was that the video interview that the ADF did with the journalists can put to jeopardy our troops on the ground, their location, and I think that was not true, because that was not our troops in terms of all the troops that are controlled by him or under his forces. Those were ADF, and I think the ADF were not exposing. I want to reiterate that is not a camp that man visited, and that man was a freelance journalist. I wouldn't go into that details because it will contain in my address in his speech. So in the speech of the chairman of the ASC, the Ambazonian Self-Defense Council, Mr. Ufoka, he made a live presentation which I have given the title, "Who Controls All Forces in Ambazonia?" It is very important that I do this for you to listen, because we want to avoid any sort of conflict during this period building up to the Unity Convention in the Americas. So I am going to address Mr. Ufoka directly, and I'm going to address all the things he said in his presentation. The first thing he said, Ufoka said that the SCDF had no support in its launching. The SCDF is a Southern Cameroon Defense Force. That is what he said, that he had no support from anybody when he launched his program. I want to say that Ufoka is one of those people early on in this struggle who came out with a military outfit, and he inspired a lot of people by presenting that front. Some of us in our generations who have grown up in this illegal union, we never thought that we could have an army. We have never seen anything like that. So when he came into the stage, we were like, wow, this is real. We could really have an Ambazonian army. So it was very good in terms of propaganda. It was very good in terms of inspiration and stuff like that. We really appreciate the role Saw Foncha played, and his inspiration is something we want to clap for it, and also let people to understand that when you disagree with somebody, you should not take him like an enemy, but you should be able to even appreciate the things that they are doing which are positive, which is something that is lacking in our community, which we want to encourage in this platform. So we appreciate him, his inspiration. We appreciate the fact that he said that when he launched his movement, there was no support. He didn't receive any support. He did not ask support from anybody. Then he went straight to accuse Chairman Ayabacho. He said that he accuses Ayabacho of presenting SCDF, which is his Dr. Saw Foncha's group, as SOCADEF. This is very bizarre. This is very bizarre, because I personally have never heard about Ayabacho mentioning the word SOCADEF. Maybe he mentioned it in some way that I did not. I have never heard Ayabacho talk about SOCADEF. I know that SOCADEF is the military wing of SCYL, which has as its chairman Dr. Ayabacho. SOCADEF is one of the oldest self-defense groups that Ambazonia have ever had. I think it is over 20 years old. So for Saw Foncha to come out and say that SOCADEF was presented to look like his group, which is the SCDF, I would think that it was the other way around. I would think that it is the other way around. SOCADEF has been there for so long. We don't even need to debate about that. That is not a topic of debate. But what Saw Foncha is talking about here does not make sense. To say that Ayabacho, I was even thinking he would talk about Akwanga presenting SOCADEF. He's talking about Ayabacho. Is he just trying to attack this man, or what was really going on in his brain? Was he just trying to attack this man? But the Ambazonia people need to see through this thing and really see what it is. What it is. He further said that he actually was saying he is addressing the international community. Can you imagine? He was addressing the international community in this issue. And he said that the ASC is the only recognized force. I don't know recognized by who. That the ASC is the only recognized force. I don't know he's talking about that recognized by who. It is just funny. And he says that there is no force in Ambazonia. There is no force except the forces that are in the platform, the ASC. You know that the ASC is a platform that was put together to make sure that all the defense groups, they come together under a single platform so that they can collaborate, they can coordinate. And Saw Foncha is saying that the ASC is the only force on the ground. And it will just defy logic, because why were they negotiating with the ADF chairman? Why were they negotiating with Dr. Akwanga if they don't have any force? So were they deceiving us? Who is lying who? Who is lying who here? When you say that there is no force, who are you lying? I'm going to come to give you the opposite of all this thing, but permit me just say exactly what he said. So he further said that SOCADEF and ADF are propaganda machine. They are just propaganda machine. Well, this is really unfortunate. When you say something is a propaganda machine, it means that this is a group that they say that they are pretending like they are showing something that exists that does not exist. They are just making drama. They are just propaganda machine. I will come back to show you the reality, but I will have to just say what he said before I address it. He also says that Dr. Ayabacho and the ADF is paying activists. That means Dr. Ayabacho is giving money to activists to make propaganda. Well, me, I am an activist. Of late, because I am defending a lot of attacks that are coming towards the AGC, ADF, some people are saying that I lean towards ADF too much. But to say that they have paid, he is saying that Ayabacho have paid people. I have not been paid. If Chairman Ayabacho is here, please, ADF, if you people are giving money, can you send me some of that money? It's ridiculous. I don't need money anyway because I am also a donor. I also contribute money in this struggle. I'm self-sufficient. I'm independent. I make good money. I am able to take care of myself. But to say that they are paying money, I don't know whether he's just running his mouth or he has actually heard that somebody have received money or he have seen somebody receive money. It's really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous to say that they are paying somebody. I've never received money from anybody in this struggle. Never. I've actually been spending my own money. I've never received any money from anybody in this struggle as an activist. That somebody will pay me to say something. Or if he's talking about somebody else, then Foncha should tell the activists, let the Ambazonian people know who have received money. Because the people needs to know. Otherwise, you cannot come and lie and tell people that they are motivated by money. Me, I am motivated by the truth. I follow the truth and I speak the truth. So anything I stand here to defend is because somebody is lying against somebody. Then my job as a vanguard will come back to deblock it. And if every day people keep on lying about one group, every day I will be coming here to debunk those lies. I will never stop. I am here to remain. I will never go anywhere. I will keep on doing it. So he further says that the Red Dragon has fake people representing them. The Red Dragon have fake people to represent them. Where we know that the Red Dragons, Tapang Ivor has come out to say that he is the founder of Red Dragons. We also know that the Red Dragons there are indications that the Red Dragons is a member of the Tigers, have been integrated with the Tigers. Those are the two people we know. So he is accusing Tapang Ivor and the Tigers of making false claim about the Red Dragons. This is what he is saying. This is what he is saying. Oh my goodness. He also said that the ASC was created by him. Foncha said that the ASC, the platform, was created by him. There is no doubt that Foncha have also championed the creation of a joint platform. But Mr. Foncha, if you are saying that you are the one who created this platform, this ASC, then that means you want to say that the AIP, Mola Sako Samuel, was lying, because Mola Sako Samuel came to this platform and has been going to other platforms and explaining elaborately how he initiated this platform, explaining to the Ambazonia people that he, Samuel Sako, was the one who was calling all the various groups, including you, Foncha, to come down and make this joint platform, which is going to be independent, really not independent, but having a working relationship with the interim government. This is what Sako was saying. So are you saying that Sako was lying and Foncha? Are you saying that Sako was lying? Because you cannot claim, two people cannot claim, create something initially. You can have two people working together, but if you say that you are the one who created this platform, that would just be, I will choose I think that Sako have credibility more than you. I would think that that is just a complete lie. You did not create this platform. Of course, you have been talking about it, just like me. I have been preaching about unity. And now there is an initiative. I will not come and claim ownership that I am the one who have created things just because I was preaching it. Foncha is an activist. We activists, we propagate a lot of things. We have a lot of things we are pushing forward to be created. But it doesn't mean that we will come and tell people that I am the one who created this one. Were you not elected in that forum according to what they say? And you are coming to tell us that you are the one who created? And you say that Sokadef borrowed, it is a borrowed group from Ayabacho. This is ridiculous. You are saying Sokadef was borrowed by Akwanga from ADF, from Ayabacho. I don't know whether you know the history, but Ayabacho and Akwanga have had a long history being together in the SUIL. And Sokadef has been existing for over 20 years. So for Foncha to say that Ayabacho, Dr. Akwanga have borrowed this word, or this organization, this propaganda organization from Ayabacho, that it is a borrowed word, according to his word. He says it's a borrowed word. It's ridiculous. This is just lie. And Brazilian people have to know that this is just lie. It's just a big lie. There is no proof that this is a borrowed word, because this group have existed before, long ago. They are the people who broke into the prison and released Dr. Akwanga when he was in jail. We know about that story. We have read about it. Dr. Akwanga have published it in many documents that is available even online. We have read this story. So this name did not just appear, Mr. Foncha. It didn't just appear. Before you launched that your group, this name already existed over 20 years ago. We have seen videos of the training camps and training and army people who wear the uniform of SOCADEF. I know of the SOCADEF representative here in my backside in China who predates this struggle. I know him long ago, and he was a member of SOCADEF. So what are you talking about? That is just lie. That's just lie. You also demand that the ADF should show his fighters. That without showing your fighters, he said that fighters, that he demands that ADF should show its fighters. That showing fighters without showing actions is deception. That was a challenge. Saul Foncha says that he is challenging the ADF, that you should not only show your fighters, but you should show the action. I want to tell Saul Foncha that he is contradicting himself, and that is irony. Because you yourself, Saul Foncha, you are saying that every time they are showing things, Ayabacho and the ADF, whenever they are showing things, is propaganda. At the same time, you are asking them to show action. Is that not funny? It means that you are not really trying to criticize any specific thing. You are just trying to do propaganda yourself to tarnish their reputation and try to destroy their group. How can you be saying that they are propaganda people? Whatever they are showing is propaganda. And then at the same time, you are asking them, that you are challenging them, that they should not only show their fighters, but they should show videos of their fighters doing action to you. Then what are you talking about? One time you are saying propaganda is showing video, then the same time you are challenging them to show video. So Foncha, now wait till that no become misbehave. If you don't like some person, just caution. No begin try to talk to where you need to make sense. No begin talk to you need to make sense. Secondly, you threaten ADF that you are going to kick ADF out of your zones that you control. How can you kick out somebody that you are saying that does not exist? What type of contradiction is that? You are claiming somebody does not exist, and you are threatening them that you are going to kick them out. So what do you want the Ambazonian people to believe when they listen to you? That somebody that does not exist, you want to drive them out? Is that not ridiculous? And then you talk about the situation in Teke. You say in Teke, the ADF, they came out with the troops of about 46 ADF personnel, came dressing in with their black dresses with the ADF written on it, to use a 40 RPG to launch an attack. Where we have seen the images of the Teke incidents where there was an attack there that was very successful. And we know that in that attack, over 40 mad dogs were sent to hell. If you saw Foncha is saying that these people, 46 of the ADF group that went to launch that attack in Teke, that they went there with 40 weapons, how do you think people will believe you? That army, you go to the ground zero and give people gun that does not work very well, an RPG that does not work for them to go and attack a military that has automatic rifles and AK-47 and all type of weapons. How is that possible? That is lie. And at the same time, you are saying that the ADF does not exist. The same time, you are saying that there was an incident in Teke where 46 ADF members were involved in an attack. So which one is which one? Either you say that ADF does not exist, or you say that they exist. You are contradicting yourself, which means that you are lying. So the Ambazonian people should understand that what you were saying were just complete lies. You cannot say that they have a dysfunctional RPG machine. And this is the information that have been sent in the charters of the country heads. They have spread this information in all their communities, telling people that Master that Ayabacho RPG they need to work. You can see the videos, and you zoom the videos to look at the RPG, the rockets themselves. I have examined them, and from my visual examination, I can at least tell that they look real. And from the pictures of the shooters, and from also internet information that I have searched to see how RPG launch. In the RPG, the most important thing is the rocket, and that rocket has a fuel inside. As a matter of fact, you can use a nail. I've seen a video in the YouTube. You can use a nail to trigger the rocket even without the rocket launcher. That means you can launch an RPG rocket without the rocket launcher. So if your argument, Foncha, that the RPG launcher are faulty because the trigger mechanism is faulty, that you have never even examined, you are wrong. Because even with a broken RPG launcher, You can actually fabricate it and modify the trigger mechanism by yourself. So the idea that is being spread in social media and in the various community that the RPG machines of the ADF were faulty is just propaganda. It's just propaganda trying to destroy the image of the ADF. And if you have heard that these machines are faulty machines, they are second-hand faulty machines, I'm telling you that most wars are fought with second-hand machines. La Republic, most of their guns are second-hand. And the fact that a machine is second-hand does not mean that it is faulty. From reaction we know is that since these weapons were deployed, we have not seen La Republic running in convoy, in large convoy, or see their helicopters. We have not seen them. So that is just complete lies. So you said also that that the ADF should make proof of operation, that they should prove that they are actually carrying out action. My brother, not be all we fear and see the action will be passed for Batibo, where ADF then arrest the DO for Batibo day. Then publish image and we no man will be get that image. Then get some of we don't see that arrest for Batibo na ADF they be doing no. Even far go back before the two Maddox they be sent up for here for Ayembe for Nayembe Chief Ayembe Avenue for Corner Liberty Square day. No be the ADF they be done show that video there. You want which kind of proof of operation already now? Plenty proof then there for operation. Plenty. I no need for bring them. Even the one where you talk for Teke, you say the talk say attack for Teke. That one not proof for action. You talk say ADF they no give proof for action. Now which kind of ADF proof for action where you want them again? That one are just to begin plan a doubt for people their mind way no doubt no day. So I want Ambazonian people then for clear on ahead for all that table that year for soft funcha say ADF they never proof say they get action for on the ground. That one are just lie. Another thing where you talk now say you are ready to go to war. Mark call you commander for soft funcha because you are a commander, you have a group under your command. So with all respect, I call you commander. Commander soft funcha. How you feel do talk say you want to go with war with your own Ambazonian, no, my brother? How you do talk say you want to go with your own war with the ADF? And then the same time you talk say there no go ever be any Southern Sudan. That one no fine. You know fine. Go fight La Republic them, kill La Republic them. Then get plenty army, then get plenty location them. The idea say you go in war with another person. Say you want attack person. You know that one it no make sense. Now wait to be your motivation. What is your motivation? Because me I never see any provocation with the Rangian for you. We would deserve that you go to war. We have seen this before. We have seen people say like this and then people die. You should understand that you as a leader in soft funcha, you as a public figure, all of us who are public figure, we have to be responsible with the type of thing we say on social media. Because everybody have a follower. When you say something that you are going to go on war with another leader, the people who like you, who are your followers, they can use that your word to attack somebody and kill somebody. Our words have we should be responsible the type of word we are using. You cannot stand as a leader and declare that you are going to go on war against the ADF. That is reprehensible. I'm not sure the other groups that you represent in that ADF, in that ASC is going to agree with you. I'm not sure. You also said that the ADF has collected money from people and disappear with the money, that they have collected money and use that money for their private issue. That is just lie, and this is a repeated issue that they claim that for many years Dr. Ayabacho have been collecting money, Dr. Akwanga have been collecting money, and they have not seen where that money have gone. Me personally, as an activist, and a lot of people, if you have been following the struggle for a long time, there is a police case in Nigeria, and there is a problem between Dr. Success Nkongo and Ayabacho, which involved the payment of millions of naira by the ADF to Dr. Success. I'm not going into the details about this, but that is money. That is physical money. I don't think that Ayabacho will be taking millions of naira and giving it to Success if he's a thief or a scammer who just is taking money from people to eat. As a matter of fact, somebody will only do that as an act of responsibility to sponsor his group. Dr. Akwanga, I personally know that there was a moment where he used his personal money. I don't want to go into his personal things because he has not given me the right to talk about it. But I know about his personal sacrifices for the struggle. So the fact to say that Ayabacho is scamming people for money for his personal use, when we know that there are cases of millions of nairas coming out from his pocket, we see from the equipment that his group have, that is accountability enough. Think about those weapons, how much they cost. Think about the bags of bullets that we have seen on TV. by the ADF, how much those, one bullet costs about 15,000. Elephant bullet, one of the bullets is about 15,000. Look at the back of bullet that we saw on TV. That back means that there is almost 1,000 bullets in that back. 1,000 times 115,000 is how many millions that small back of bullet will cost. All those people who were eating in that video of the Abacho guys, ADF, where do the money come from? So you cannot say Abacho is taking money and eating the money. That there are jobless people abroad who are doing that. You cannot say Ayabacho is jobless, because we know that Ayabacho, I don't have to say this, it didn't come from him, he did not tell me this. But when I was having him on my platform, I did a background check and I found out that he is an employer in where he is living. I don't need to be giving his personal information outside, but he is an employer. He have a company who is employing Ambazonians. So he is an employer. I don't need to talk about details of that. But so, like somebody who is struggling as an activist, sometimes I barely have time to do my thing. Even in my job, I'm distracted by the struggle. I wish I had money or I have fundings to be able to just do this thing full time. I will save the public interest more better. So if our leaders, because of the struggle, they decide to leave their job or leave their businesses or hand them over to somebody else and to give their time and their full attention to our struggle, that is something that we have to appreciate. It's not something we have to use it against them or try to use it to insult them. I'm sure that nobody have ever asked the same question of the leaders of the interim government, which have a working relationship with the ASC that is presented by the Salt Foncha. I'm sure nobody have ever raised the question about Salt Foncha, his ability to travel to and forth, and his finances. Nobody have ever asked that questions. And we shouldn't be asking those type of questions. Nobody have ever asked the questions about the people in the IG who is receiving salary, who is not. We have not, as activists, gone there because we have to have that type of respect, because we go through the same challenges as they. So that is just ridiculous. Previously, people have even questioned the diploma of Dr. Akwanga, that is he a real PhD holder. The video that was released by him, it says everything. So those are the important things. So right now, what I want the Ambazonian people to know, to be fair, balanced, is that an independent, don't take it from me, an independent voice, a freelance journalist was embedded with the ADF. From his own testimony, he saw over 100 fighters that he stayed with them, saw them eating, he saw their weapons. So from his account, we cannot say that ADF does not exist, because he saw them personally. He was with them in their camp. He saw them going for missions, and he testified that the ADF was well formed. Even in his interview in the BBC, he talks about the ADF have a very good structure of command and control, that they were waiting to receive orders. They had a very high level of professionalism in the ADF. So as an independent journalist talking about that is a testimony that we can take it against the testimony of Salt Foncha. So we can say clarity to the Ambazonian people that the ADF exists. Me as an activist, I have had privileged information to receive insight about the workings of the ADF, and I'm telling you that it's a force to reckon with. They are very viable professional force on the ground. And there is another video. I don't know if this video is a part of propaganda or part of Salt Foncha's war against the ADF, but there is a video that has been released. Recently, there was a video on social media of a young child in Moyoka who came along with one of the commanders of the forces that we have seen, and that child was attacked. That child was attacked by a lot of people of the AGC and a lot of activists and a lot of people who are online, which I condemn. I had called out the surrogates of the AGC, and I say you shouldn't attack the IG or the ASC groups or try to link them to a child soldier, because that child there are a lot of children who have been killed in this struggle, and children also have the right to defend themselves. But as a policy, no group should use child soldier, and we have been assured that no group is using child soldier. And the people of the ASC has also said that they don't use child soldiers, but they do admit that there are certain children who happens to try to defend themselves, and they pick up arms to defend themselves. But those children are not part of any movement, and they have never been seen or are being used in any combat situation. And surprise, surprise, there is a video now circulating which I want to show you guys of that same child. And this time, the child is talking that child on that video that people were attacking, that he's a member of the interim government linked ASC. The child is he's now on the video. This is the video on social media. You can see the video. On this video, this child now that we have been saying, that people were saying that is the member of the IG was attacking them. Now they are using it to attack the IG. They are now showing this child on this video saying that the child is ADF, and it's very suspicious. Out of a sudden, a child that came with a group in Moyoka to say that they were Ambazonia fighters. We know that the ADF does not represent themselves as Ambazonia fighters. Out of a sudden, this is him with these guys saying that he's ADF fighter. But I want you to notice something. Look at this boy. Look at this guy behind. This one. This guy. If you look at this guy, I just want to debunk the propaganda that is going on here to attack the ADF. Look at this guy. This same guy is this guy who released a video. This guy released this video in May. And in this video, he's identifying himself as Ambazonian fighters. So this is him. This is a guy. It's the same guy who is behind. Look at his epaulette, his dress, and his face. He's the same guy with this child. Now look. See the guy behind. You can see him behind. So I can only say, from the look of this thing, it means that somebody have gone and asked those people to blackmail the ADF and release a video asking that child to say that he is an ADF member. It is really unfortunate. We should not be doing propaganda against each other, or attacking each other, or blackmailing each other like this. We should not. It's not necessary. We have enough enemies to fight. Why will you take your time, ask a commander on the ground to release a video to sabotage another group just to prove something that does not exist? Why will you do that? Why? Why? As a matter of fact, one of the commanders of the South Frontiers group, who is my contact person, because we as activists, we have people from all groups contacting us to be able to tell their stories, to be able to keep their memories when they are going to fight. So we act like some type of a godfather to a lot of these fighters who are contacting us. And I have a communication with one of the people who belongs to South Frontiers group. That guy wanted to tell me about their mission and a meeting that they have in the Southern Zone. All the ground forces, they had a meeting, like a convention in Ground Zone. They have a meeting. And in the video that guy showed me, he was showing me that this is their meeting of all the ground forces on the ground. And in that video, I will just show the excerpt. I want to apologize because I have not told him that video. When people send me their video, I don't publish it without their permission. But I'm going to show a screenshot of this video because I will not take permission from him on this case, because I'm sure they will not give me the permission to clear the name of ADF, because their chairman have said that he's at war with the ADF. And in this picture is an extract from that video given to me by a member of the SCDF. This is in this video of all the meeting of all the commanders on Ground Zero. You can see here, this is a member of the ADF putting on the ADF. This meeting took place somewhere secret in the Northern Zone. All the commanders, they came together and have a meeting to see how they can coordinate. So you can see that the South Frontier is aware that ADF is a fighting force. He is aware because his commander has given me a meeting between the various groups. Irrespective of that, we know that General Ivor, who have come out to have interview, a military general with guns on his back, those are real people. How can you come and say ADF does not exist? And at the end of it, South Frontier said something that is very revealing about the motivation why he's doing so. And he was saying that he's addressing the international community. I'm just worried that he will not start writing people to try to say that ADF does not exist. Because imagine what will happen, that these journalists have taken his time, go to Ground Zero, embedded himself to tell the story about our struggle, to prove to the world that we are fighting for independence, and our fighters are common civilians who have joined the resistance to resist and protect their family. If he now decides to debunk them because he wants to sabotage them, that they don't exist, and start writing to the international community, addressing the international community that the ADF is a propaganda machine, they don't exist. Think about what this is going to do to our struggle. It's going to destroy our credibility. The whole world is going to say we are a bunch of fools. He's going to make a mockery of all of us. So it is very good that I address this issue so that we put an end to this nonsense. Software should stop this nonsense. You cannot destroy the life of 8 million people because you don't like Ayabacho. You cannot spoil our struggle to start to tell the international community that a group that exists on the ground does not exist. It is a propaganda machine. What do you think the effect is going to be on our credibility, on our forces as a whole? This is not an attack on ADF. This is an attack on the struggle for our independence. This is a treasonous act. If we were in a civilized country, if we had our independence, you could be court-martialed. You could be court-martialed. You could be sent to jail for at least 20 years. You cannot attack the future of 8 million people because you want to sabotage another group. No, you cannot. You don't have the right to do that. I'm angry. I'm very angry with you, Software. I'm very disappointed with you. I thought that you were somebody who have inspired our generation. I thought that you are somebody who represent a prestigious class of somebody who carry the name of Foncha. And you come on social media. You address the international community. Say that you are attacking Ayabacho. You are betraying everything your father stood for. You are betraying everything Dr. Jongu Foncha stood for by doing this. You may think that you are playing politics by saying that you are not a politician. And you are there playing politics, doing sabotage. What you are doing is an attack on the struggle. You may not know that. You may not know that. You may think that you write, you tell the whole world, you go and tell people that Ayabacho and his group, they are fake. And think that you are doing so, you are doing so for let me just block this guy. I'm not one of those activists that pretend that I don't block people or I pretend that I don't delete the comment of people. If you come to my platform to insult me, I'll block you or I'll delete you. If you are here to put propaganda material or to try to, you are an agent of La Republique, you are saying things here to throw doubt that are not reasonable, I'm going to block you or delete your comment. I do that. I don't pretend I don't do that like other activists. I block people in my forum. It is not a choice. Be here if you want to be here. If you don't want to, don't be here. It's not an obligation. So, Foncha, what you are doing is wrong. What you are doing is an attack on the revolution. It is completely anti-revolutionary. And you should be ashamed of doing that. In front of everybody, you should be ashamed of doing that. It's very, very bad. We are not here playing with the life of people. You think that attacking Ayabacho is destroying Ayabacho or destroying his group. If you destroy that group, what will it benefit you? Why will it benefit you? Why? What is all this nonsense now? Why is all this nonsense? I'm just sick and tired of all this trash. I'm sick and tired of all this trash. I'm sick and tired of all this trash. So I think I'll close this issue with that statement. And regarding the arrest of Ekema, unfortunately, you came out and you put this issue of Ekema there, and you have made all of us look so stupid. Unfortunately for me, I want to apologize personally again to my platform for having published this document, thinking that Saw Foncha is somebody who have credibility because he sits in that position. I was clearly mistaken because he did not do his job to properly do that. And we have now seen propaganda audios going out to try to change the narrative, to say that, hey, it was this going on or like this going on. And I don't have any reason to believe all those stories. You lied to the Ambazonian people because you had faulty information. It means that whatever you are having is probably faulty. And I also want to say that as a spokesperson, what you say should not be your own opinion. It should be what the council have decided. So, God will, I will not call him privately. When there are things that are public, we address them publicly. All this type of excuse that you do things privately, all those things does not work. Those La Republique style, they should keep it in La Republique. When you hear people saying things about a group that you don't, or your group that you support or you're affiliated with, you start to say you should say it behind. You know, we don't behave that way. This is the no spin zone. We say it as it is. Anybody who wants to come and make their conny here, it doesn't work with me. So that is the issue. I've settled that issue. My guest tonight will be waiting. I'm going to bring him in front. I just want to draw your attention to a few things before I bring my guest. I also want to talk about positive things moving forward. That I'm afraid that all this thing that is happening like this is for one reason: to make sure that Ayabacho does not come together with all the leaders. Because the more we are going towards unity, the more people are fighting. The more we are going towards unity, the more people are fighting about who is calling me here? The more people are fighting about the more people are fighting against that unity. I'm online. I'll call you back. The more we are going towards unity, there are a lot of people who don't want unity, and they are using all type of things to provoke the leaders. So Ambazonian people, be careful, be watchful of all these people who are provoking these leaders. Let us fight. Let us fight. Because they are afraid that people should come together and have unity. That is the only thing. Because the United Nations now is talking about dialogue. So now they are now fighting who is going to be on that dialogue. Who is going to be the person to go to sit on that dialogue? Is it going to be me or not? So the implication this type of people are thinking is that now the whole world knows that Ayabacho is representing a very powerful group on the ground. So they cannot go to dialogue without Ayabacho, because what if they go and make an agreement and then he keeps on fighting? They will not dialogue with them again. They'll say, I cannot talk with you because you don't control everybody. What about Ayabacho? So they are trying to make their hands strong in negotiation with La Republic because they want to do it by themselves, or what? What is going on? What is going on? Thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. What is going on? So that is just what I think. All these things they are doing is Ambazonian politics. And I ask all Ambazonians to understand that there is Amba politics. Amba politics 101 is going on. Don't be carried away. Let us ignore all this their blah 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 and tell our leaders there is a unity convention. We don't want any audit that conny them. For long time they began to do the conny. They will provoke the one way. They can start argue. Then they no unite. Now Nathan would want debunk all those their strategy to provoke one, and then they are angry. They'll say, okay, we cannot meet again. We will not want to unite. This time we are saying that the convention, the unity convention, must hold. All the leaders must come there. We will not accept. Are they online? I'll call you back. Yeah. So we will not accept any excuse. It is time for unity. Unity is imperative. Isaac, can you answer my call? Talk to Uncle. Tell him I'm online. We are not going to accept any mistake. Our people have died so much. We don't suffer so they tired. We want that unity. We don't want all these people the way they come. They want to today now force on soft function. If you can provoke Ayabacho, if you can make us Ayabacho, she don't quite. You will see tomorrow another person will come again. Can provoke. Because the main thing I said they don't want unity. They use conny way for sabotage unity. One person go can't talk say one go war with another person. They provoke another because they don't want unity. They don't want unity. Now they true that. So the unity convention that is coming up in the Americas, we want to publicize it, and we are going to talk about it with Eugene as well. It is organized by an independent people. There have been an attempt to sabotage this unity. Some people are saying it is attached to Ayabacho. Some is saying that it is attached to the IG. Some is saying that it is attached to this one and this one. I want to guarantee the Ambazonian people that I have been monitoring this thing and I know the characters that are involved. There is no activists involved in those people. They are independent Ambazonians in America, in Asia, and in Europe who have come together to make this unity convention. They want it to be a convention where the leaders, the 7+1, the 7 leaders plus the interim government, they will come together, only the leaders themselves. Forget about all the surrogates. They will come and sit together and think about what form of framework can they have a collaboration. It's very important that they come together and do that. And all these people who are under them, these power mongers, they are fighting like this to sabotage it, is because they want to put Isaac. I talk to your uncle now. Talk to him. Tell him that I'm online. You should not call. I'll call him back. So all these people, what they are trying to do is to sabotage the unity, because they themselves, they are comfortable in their own position of power and influence in the interim government. So they don't want unity because they are afraid of their situation. Maybe Saul Foncha is the one afraid that if ADF come there, they are going to sit on equal table and his group is going to be they are going to be forced they are going to be forced, their hands is going to be forced for everybody to know who is who. Maybe he is the one afraid of unity in that platform. We know that the reason why the ADF and the SOCADEF could not unite under that ASC is because they don't have any political unity yet, and the negotiation is ongoing. SACO have said that the negotiation is ongoing. So unity, the leaders have to come together on that platform in Canada. They have to come with a unity that we want to see coming out from the Americas, the conference in America. The leaders, they need to come together for unity. I want to tell people what this convention is all about and what this convention is not about before the cankerworms and the saboteurs, they come out to come and lie to you. This conference is not about dissolving the interim government. It is not about creating a government. It is not about anything. They are going there without any agenda. This is the agenda of that conference, so that the IG people cannot come and say that, oh, don't go there because they want to go and dissolve you. This other one cannot go and say that, hey, don't go there because they want to absorb you. Ambazonia people should know that this conference, the theme and the purpose of this conference is to, one, create a strategic collaborative, a strategic collaboration, a strategic unity. That means unity is strategic. The leaders, they need to come with a framework where they can be able to present to the entire world that they are united in some way or some form. It is very strategic. That means the unity is strategic. So that is the purpose, the agenda of that meeting. Unity is strategic. They don't just want unity for unity's sake. They want a strategic unity. So that is the purpose for that conference, that convention. All of them should come there and have that unity, because that unity will be very strategic in the way that when we are talking about the negotiation, the world will know that we are standing there as one. When we are presenting our issue, they should know that we have some relationship. It should not be that this one will go there, they'll talk about this other people he don't know, but they should have a strategic unity. And the second agenda of that convention is that our leader can have a projection of a common struggle, a projection of a common struggle and a unified position. They will not be saying you are saying this one and then maybe this other one is saying another one. You are representing a different faction. What is your objective? This one is presenting a different faction. What is your objective? Because it is going to eliminate the fact that the Republic is struggling to project that there are other forces behind our struggle, like the people who want federalism. They can say this thing is about federalism. It may be about this one or that one or that one. So it is very important that strategically they should have we should have unity. Whether the unity is in terms of collaboration or whatever, but they should come together and create that framework. And nobody should be afraid to say that convention is about A, it is about B. No, it is a pure independent convention where all the leaders will sit together and come out with a framework for a strategic unity. A strategic unity, that is a catchword, a strategic unity. So there should be no reason for nobody to go there. Nobody should come and say that this one wants to hijack it or that one wants to hijack it. If you are a leader, then you should be strong enough to go there and defend your own position. So let all of them go there. Some people are saying that because the interim government is collecting citizen levy, the interim government should pick the bill. Because if maybe nobody can sabotage the convention, and then they say that okay, there is no money for people to pay their transportation for all the people to attend that convention, so they can say let the convention not hold. So some people have been suggesting that the interim government should pick the bill. But I say that to be fair to them, since the interim government is not the one organizing the convention, we cannot put that burden upon them. But I would say that since they are presenting themselves as the face and the governing, or the government, as they are presenting themselves the government, then they should assume some responsibility, some higher responsibility. And all the country coordinators and the so-called country heads, they are not showing any interest to raise money for this. Because this one does not involve anything that is going to give them positions and appointment and stuff like that. So they are sitting them quiet. So go back to your community and ask your country heads, why are you not collecting donations for this convention? Is this not about the struggle, or they can only collect money when they will have to have praises and have appointments and secure their positions for themselves and their friends? No, they should collect money for this convention. It is very important. This unity is imperative. It will determine the future of our struggle and how we prosecute our struggle. So why are the country heads not collecting donations? They should help them to collect donations. I know that I want to salute the country head of Norway, because he has been proactive, trying to get information and get in contact with the people and see how he can organize to collect money to support it. I also know that the organizer have tried to connect with some other active and some other communities. If you are in any community, go and ask your community to make donation, because they need the money for the air ticket, they need money for all that, or lodging, the hotel, and so many other things. So it's very important that we raise this fund. We have to raise this fund. So that is it about the unity issue. And the last thing before I talk about is about progress in the United Nations. I think I will keep that one aside, because Eugene Ufoka, the diplomat, is going to discuss about that one. But one other thing I want to say is the alert for La Republique. There is a planting going on. There is an alert we have received, which is very credible, a very credible source, saying that La Republique is planting long-term undercover operative who are going to rent houses in Ambazonia and try to know the neighborhood and get into the Ambazonian force, try to get information about the Ambazonian force, how they operate. So people should be watchful and send the information out there that in any community, any new person that comes up to try to join their community, to ask questions about Ambazonian forces, they should be very careful. It is credible. We have heard that they have sent undercover people to rent houses. That is a very credible thing from many sources. I cannot independently verify it, but the people who have contacted me to raise that alarm are very credible people who, I think, they have done their homework very well. There is also an alert coming from Oku. There is a group in Oku that we believe was created by Philemon Yang. They have been operating in between the highway between Kambe and Oku. They have been stopping vehicles and presenting themselves like Ambazonian fighters, Ambazonian boys. They actually call themselves Ambazonian Amba boys. And they cover their faces in doing so. In our experience, no Ambazonian forces have not done that, and we have not reached any group that have claimed responsibility or ownership of those guys. In all instances, Amba boys, they don't cover their face when they are doing road control. They don't do that. And this group have now entered into Oku, have had encounter with some people in Oku who have contacted us. And those people, we told those people to go and report those people to the gendarme and tell us what happened. They went and reported to the gendarme. The gendarmes were actually avoiding them. So we are very suspicious that those people, Amba boys in Oku, are really not Amba boys. They are working with those gendarmes. Because even within the community, they were covering their faces. They are a very suspicious group, and send the message out there to the people in Oku to be very careful. Amba boys are usually indigenous people who do not need to go door to door looking for money and go door to door asking for people to join their group. The same incident that happened in Pinyin, we are afraid Philemon Yang wants to do it in his own village, because they do those things to prove to Paul Biya, their master, that they are doing some job to destroy the fight. So I will try to round up within 5 minutes so that we can have our guests and we go into serious cross-talk and conversation with Mr. Eugene Ufoka. And also to give room to other activists who are coming up. We know they have over 3 shows tonight, so we will try to do very fast. So that is the alert. And there is an incident that we wanted to report on, which was the issue concerning the United Nations. I will just keep that aside because of due to time. And the issue about the election, I'm going to keep aside that because of time, and invite the State Department, the diplomat of the AGC, Mr. Eugene Ufoka, to join me so that we can go straight into our conversation. And anybody who have questions, please keep it to the end of the broadcast. So let me invite Mr. Eugene to come up so that we can go straight into his presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, we are adding Mr. Eugene. He's been added, he's coming up. We are going to have an in-depth look into his diplomatic offensive, targeted diplomacy in Sweden, and have a lot of issues because the people in Sweden have contacted me just like they did during the United Nations Unrepresented People. We are going to ask Eugene all the things that they have said, the things that have been said on social media for clarification. We are going to have a cross talk with Mr. Eugene and give you update. There is big progress that has been made. So I've added Mr. Eugene. He's not, I don't know if he has accepted it. Mr. Eugene, if you can see me, please you accept it. I've sent the invitation already, so he can accept and come up live. So I'll use this opportunity, since he's trying to join, to tell people about the progress, because a lot of people have tried to look at the wordings of the Swedish diplomat in the United Nations Security Council, and they don't understand. And also there is an issue of the security guard, the United Nations security guard that was spotted in Boya. A lot of people have said that people should see them and run away. I'm just saying that we should not be too naive. We should not be too naive. The United Nations security officers who are there, they are there to monitor the situation. You don't need to see them and run away. Some people are already talking about don't take them to the camps, or some who tell you that they are coming to the camps. Let's stop to be following things like we are making a laughing stock out of ourselves. If the United Nations, we have been asking for them to know our case and really know our plight. If they have sent the security guys, it is because the Security Council have passed a resolution declaring our zone a humanitarian crisis. So they need to have a first-hand account of what is going on there. That is why they send their security officers. We should not be paranoid. We know that we are suspicious of the United Nations, but we should not be paranoid. There is also some issue about a false alert. There is a false alert. I call it false alert because this alert seems to be either implanted by La République because it plays exactly into their policy. We have seen this week that La République du Cameroon, they have now engaged the local chiefs. They are telling chiefs and giving chiefs money to call our people who are in the forest to come back to the villages. That is what they are doing. And the reason they are doing so is not because they care about the situation in the forest, because we have heard a minister of La République come and say that our people are bush people. They are used to that life. They can survive in the forest. That is how they have insulted us. So we know that they are not doing this out of concern of our people. It is because of the United Nations resolution that have declared a humanitarian crisis in southern Cameroon. That declaration means that if that situation is not resolved, the United Nations can directly intervene. It is a situation that they can directly intervene. So La République du Cameroon is trying to bring back the refugees and the people who are in the forest because they are afraid that the United Nations is going to intervene. That is why they are doing so. And now we have heard that there is a source coming from the presidency saying that La République du Cameroon now knows all the locations of our various camps in the forest. And that La République du Cameroon is going to launch an air attack and bomb all of our camps. And so all our fighters should run away from the camps and come back to town. This is just ridiculous. We are not that stupid. How come La République can know all our camps? They have already mapped all of our camps. How is that possible? How is that possible? Yeah, Mr. Eugene, I'm saying it again. So I have sent you an invitation already, Mr. Eugene. I have sent it already. So let me try again. I have sent you invitation. Try to add it. You have to accept it. Scroll down and you accept it. So it is just a lie. They have been trying so much because they cannot go into the forest. They don't even have the manpower to go to surround the forest and get into the forest. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the equipments. They don't have the air force. All the planes in La République in their arsenals are borrowed planes from France. They are being rented. The ones that they have purchased are just trainer aircraft. So they don't have that capability. Now they want to frighten our people, to deceive them to leave their camps, which they could not reach there, to come to the main cities where they can attack them. That is just all it is. No Ambazonian fighters. You know already your camp. You know your securities. You know the measures you have taken to keep your camp. Do not be deceived and leave your camp that you are coming to the town where you will be attacked. Eugene, I've sent you the invitation already now, bro. Okay, I'm doing it again. Try to add it. Okay, yeah. All Ambazonian fighters on the ground, do not abandon your camp because somebody said that La République is going to bomb you. We have heard that type of warning before. That we heard, I think they announced it, and I was here telling people that we should just, La République cannot do that. We didn't hear any bomb. They came and they were saying that there was one bomb near Ncha. All those type of things. Who are we kidding? They are coming to tell our boys who are living in their camp to abandon their security and come down to the villages. We are not that naive. We are not that naive. So Mr. Eugene is being added. He has clicked it. So in my screen it's showing that adding. That means he has accepted it. Probably the network situation, but he's going to join us, and we are going to shoot straight into a conversation and a cross talk, because we have had a lot of feedback, just like the ADF, the AGC's diplomatic mission in UNPO. This mission in Sweden have been very controversial because, not controversial because it is controversial, because a lot of people from that Sweden, you didn't answer. No answer, Eugene. It says that you didn't answer. So, Mr. Eugene, let me add you again. Okay, I'm bringing you. Yeah.
Hey, Isabella.
Oh, Isabella, please let me call you. Please give me a minute. I'm having an interview. Please, just about a couple of minutes, I'll get back to you, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry for that interruption. Okay. Mr. Eugene, please, you are welcome. I'm sorry I did go above my 20 minutes for my opening statement. Please, you are highly welcome.
Thank you very much. I think those things we're saying, I think were quite relevant. So I think it's okay. It's a privilege to be here, and thank you for the opportunity once again. And I send my humble salute and greetings to all the Amazonians, especially those who are fighting block by block, rooftop by rooftop. I say to you guys that this is our collective responsibility. We have to defend it at all costs.
Your volume is a little bit not very clear. It is cutting. I don't know why. Just try to check it on. So, fellow Amazonians, I think this is a diplomat who does not need an introduction. Somebody we know very well in this platform and we admire very much. He's a millennial. He's an inspiration to our people. I think we come from a culture where they just believe in old people, like in La Republic. All of their people are people who have overstayed their time on earth. So, Mr. Eugene, we are very happy to have you here. We are going to go straight into the topic of today, which is the targeted diplomacy of the AGC in Sweden. And we are going to talk about that and get into some controversial issue about it, which I'm going to have it as a cross-talk with you. But first of all, Mr. Eugene, I want you to give us a little bit history of your diplomatic with the Swedish government and how it come to this far. And we know that this is a result. This is not like diplomacy now, because some people were concerned. We are announcing everything. But I think this is a result because they have taken their position and they have made that position clear to the world.
Well, I just really want to say these things with humility, that our people have to understand that we have one enemy, and that is the Republic of Cameroon that we are fighting. And in that cause, I want to proceed to say that the AGC and all the 1 million, millions of activists out there, we are fighting for one common cause. So a victory for you in Germany or in America.
Your volume again.
Yeah, I don't know. There is this noise coming. I don't know why, but is it okay now?
Yes, okay now.
Yeah, I was saying that we should understand that diplomacy and our political activism is all directed to get us to Boya. And if one person is succeeding somewhere in doing something, it has to be a victory for everyone. This is not a victory for AGC, it's a victory for Southern Cameroon, it's a victory for Amazonians. So on that note, I say that everything I'm saying here today, I am saying that on the basis that this is something Amazonians.
Your volume is a little bit cutting, but I think it's okay. We can hear you very clearly. So, Mr. Eugene, we saw the representative of the Swedish government in the United Nations Security Council having a very strong presentation of our case, and our people have heard it. I just want you to, in your own words, try to give the position that was stated by the representative of the Swedish government in the United Nations Security Council, so that we can really hear the weight they are putting on the struggle and the pressure they are putting on our colonizer, please.
Well, I think this issue with diplomacy, we are doing a lot of quiet, silent diplomacy with many countries. It's not just about Sweden. And when we come out to talk about something like this, we are giving information that we know that it has not, it cannot undermine our effort or the struggle anymore at that point. So this is something that we have been doing in the past 2 years, and have been it's not enough because of them modest the data, and that is because they have accurate information on the extent of what we are talking about.
Your volume is really poor. I don't know if you have to bring your phone closer to you, or you're using a laptop. And one of the things that I want to ask you, just to put a question on top of a question while you arrange your mic, is how effective the support of the Swedish government is, like a state now sponsoring the resolution, because we know that the way the United Nations Security Council work is that when there is a state that sponsors a resolution, it is like a state saying that I'm assuming a responsibility for this resolution. There is now a country which is going to follow up and back up the resolution that has been passed. Because it is one thing for a resolution to be passed and have no mechanism to be enforced. So I want you to talk about the effect of this resolution that has been passed on our struggle to actualize our independence and to actually have our independence recognized by the United Nations.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to use these headphones now. I don't know if it's okay.
It's
Can
perfect.
you hear me clearly?
It's perfect.
Okay. All right. That's nice. Well, what we are trying to do is we started with raising awareness. What is going on in Amazonia, and it took us some time to get the awareness, and now we are at the stage of to act on our behalf and to come on board. So now we are at a situation that we are establishing proper relationships with countries that have been convinced to
I think your volume is better with that headset. So go ahead.
There is this noise.
The noise, I cannot hear it here. I don't think it interrupts it that much. Go ahead, just continue. Let's see if it yeah.
Okay, I will just continue because I'm getting some background noise myself that is very inconvenient. But yeah, what I was saying is that we have succeeded to convince them, and now we are at the level that we are talking about a joint collaboration with some of these governments to take the struggle ahead. So I think what you are saying is actually right, that yeah, there is noise, Capo.
I cannot hear any noise there. Maybe it's inside your headset.
Yes. I think, let's see. If you can continue to call and take me off, I change my phone. I have to use another phone.
Okay, please do that as fast as possible. I'll be laying down the same thing that I've said to the people as well. Okay, yeah, I'll take you off and then you come back.
Yeah.
So, fellow Bazian, I think one of the very important things that I want Mr. Eugene to explain, the young diplomat from the AGC, is the importance of having a state party that supports a resolution. Because you can make laws and make resolution and there is nobody to actually sponsor it. You always find that the Palestinian, like the struggles in the Palestinian, they'll have a country that will say the American is sponsoring this resolution. They have a country that is sponsoring this resolution. So when that the declaration, the report that was used by the United Nations Security Council to declare a state of a humanitarian crisis in Cameroon, in southern Cameroon, it was sponsored by it was presented by Nikki Haley, the American state representative to the United Nations Security Council. She is the one that introduced that file in the United Nations in the United Nations Security Council for our case to be declared a humanitarian crisis. The implication is that when it is a humanitarian crisis, it is no more a local problem. It means that now officially the international community have an obligation to intervene. But the United Nations on paper is just a tool. It's not something that, it is not really a government. It's a tool that member states use it to implement its resolution and its norms and its law. So without the member states, the United Nations is useless, is powerless, is no use. So the coming up on board by Sweden, the government of Sweden, to take upon the responsibility to say that I am now supporting this resolution, supporting this movement. You know that after that resolution, the Security Council had asked the Secretary General to come up with a framework of a plan of action to implement, to intervene, not to implement, to intervene in the humanitarian crisis. And he had asked for more time. His rapporteur, his representative had asked for more time from the Security Council to prepare a plan of action to intervene in the humanitarian crisis. And La Republique had jumped up, trying to pretend here and there to show that they are trying to help the situation. And now they are contacting our chief. It's good that you understand this thing so that you can understand the politics going on. Okay, let me bring Mr. Eugene back. So La Republique is now using the chiefs to pretend that everything is going on, so that by the time that rapport would now present his findings, his plan of action, they might say that the situation has been ameliorated. So Mr. Eugene is back. So sir, as we were talking, you were about to explain to us. You can go ahead without me. Go ahead. You were explaining the diplomatic, how you had getting the Swedish government to come along, and you were even mentioning that there were other governments whom you are in contact with. But please, you try to explain, because it's very, very important. We will get to the cross-talk area, but I want you to take your time, explain the meaning of this diplomatic effort by the Swedish government itself and what we expect to come out of it, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Capo, the thing is that we have to understand that the United Nations is a very big junk body of member states that are very bureaucratic. And the fastest way to get in the United Nations is to go through countries. And when you solicitate with countries and get them to stand by your side, then you are actually going faster in the United Nations than to go through democratic process by, you know, making all those calls and protests. So the fact that we have been doing that type of diplomacy, it is something that we sat down and calculated in the State Department of the AGC that we have to launch a number of diplomatic upfront to many countries, not only Sweden, in Africa, in Asia, in the States, and also with institutions that have the political muscles to put things on our favor. So this is not just about go down Sweden, something that we got engaged in since last year, and it has been a long process with the fruits now. And to say this, is very important to understand that Sweden has a very important role in the United Nations Security Council right now. They have a seat there, and Sweden is one of the countries, or the first countries that acknowledge Palestine to be an independent nation, and they push the fight for Palestine into where they are today. And Sweden has a history. If you study them, they were they were neutral during the First and Second World War. They didn't take part in any of them. So to see Sweden come forward and make a statement about Southern Cameroons, they are really into what they want to do. So they are not just one of those countries that makes sense. Sweden doesn't do that. They don't do your politics. You know, they stay behind and look at things, and they come in when they want to come in. So for them to come in now, due to 2 years of hard work with them, and they are really willing to take the issue up to the highest level, because that is how they are. That's how the British government functions. So our people should understand that we are on the right track now to get the Republic a final signature document paper that we are going away, and it's not a joke.
One of the things that the Ambazonian people have been worried is the weight of France, because we know the French government sits at the Security Council as a permanent member and has a veto power. They have been able to outmuscle us with the various countries to make sure that no country that sits on that United Nations Security Council support our struggle. So how did you get Sweden to actually make that switch? When did that switch happen? Because we have seen other people sending videos here and there to various countries. What really caused that particular switch that the Swedish government decides to make that move to join this, to sponsor this resolution, to throw its weight behind this resolution?
Well, I think the things are coming from our previous work that we have been doing with them. Also, recently, the UPR pre-session and the review of Cameroon on the human rights. And we have meetings and in Brussels as well. So these things are now building up, and we have constructed a bridge of trust between us and some of these governments that we are working with, because we have been consistent. And so they trust us, and we are trying to cement this relationship permanently, to the extent that we can even maybe get an embassy, a country recognized, to give us a place to call an embassy in Cameroon. So I think the Swedish government is one of a kind that, especially most of the countries in the Scandinavian, that they are very honest, and they are working hard to keep the rule of law and protect humanity. So this is something that is much of their interest, and due to the carnage, the killings, the barbarism of Cameroon, all those images and videos and all the horror people are going through, we have managed to convey those messages to them, and these things are very compelling, and they are very convincing also that they have to take actions into these things, because I think that people they still have their moral compass, and they know that it is their moral responsibility to fight for humanity. And talking about the issue of France, of course, we know that geopolitics is something that most countries, and they play geopolitics until it gets out of control. Like now in Amazonia, they have been playing geopolitics with our struggle, and we are now at the extent out of hand. Now we have armed struggle, and the resistance and the persistence, the tenacity of our boys on the ground. We are forcing those who are playing geopolitics now, like France, to step out, because it's no more anymore. Because now we are dealing with the loss of lives and open violation of human rights and things that are very against the natural norms and the values of the Western countries and the international community. So it is to foreshadow the element of geopolitics. So even the issue with the gas thing that the Republic is making with the British company, these are all political sabotage to demoralize us, because those things doesn't mean anything, because we can always cut off anything before also we get to go. And they're just trying to use those deals now to play geopolitical, to put some strings in our mindset, to push us to become enemy of the UK, or to become frustrated that we are not getting independent. Those are moves. If we are thinking critically, we can see that the Cameroon government has never been dealing so closely to sell oil deals to the British. That they are doing this now because they are seeing that we are aligning with them, and Britain is listening to us, and they have been talking about our issue in their different political platforms. So it would be a good move for them to sell them some gas deal to frustrate the Amazonians to the United Kingdom. But that is all just political geopolitics. That doesn't mean anything. And even if they sign the gas deal with the British oil companies, they are not exploiting oil from Amazonia today. It might take 5 years for things to proceed to establish the oil plant there before they start the extraction. So, and before 5 years' time, which are being buoyant, these things are ours. So, our people should understand that this geopolitics, they are already getting out of proportion, because the tenacity of our boys on the ground is calling for urgent action from the international community. And geopolitics does not function where the atmosphere is scatter. It can only function where the atmosphere can be controlled. If you cannot control the atmosphere, the geopolitics cannot fit in.
We are seeing a lot of, for those people who were worried that since Amazonia is within the sphere of influence of France, and they were worried that any country that could be swayed or have common interests with France. But looking at Sweden has been, even in the First World War, the Second World War, has been a very independent country. That, what do you think is the possibility that the French people are not going to come with this their undercover secret service, undercover diplomacy, and lobby the Swedish government to drop the ball, or to make a poor case so that it doesn't go anywhere? What are the chances of France pulling that off?
Well, the Swedish government have gone against the United States to recognize Palestine and to push things forward for Palestine to become, an independent nation today. So France is very small. And one of the things we have to understand is that not every politician in France is corrupt. We are talking about the France government that is very corrupt. But we have politicians in France that are very outspoken. And no politician will stand in front of the world to deny injustice, to deny corruption, to deny killings of millions of people, to deny the carnage our people have been going through. So geopolitics we have an extent to which geopolitics can play an ends. It cannot go when we are talking about an armed conflict going on in Amazonia with the Cameroon forces. So the situation that we have now, we have passed that level of geopolitics, and this is the same thing that we have passed the level as also of La Republic saying that they are trying to protect their national sovereignty by massacring people. No, the world is functioning today based on protection of human rights. If a government, if any institution that's supposed to protect people decide to or come out to declare that they are killing them, automatically they will be going against the international community. And it doesn't matter if you are sovereign or you are acting out of your jurisdiction or you're acting out of your constitution. Those things have been defined by the Geneva Convention to be the act of genocide, and you will be tried and judged according to those things. So I think we have to also understand that the constitutions and some of the laws that were put in place in 1945, we have a changing world now that is seeking for new world order and new institutions and new policies. So Ambazonians, we are coming right on the right time in the international community where there are many questions being raised around the world, questioning the rights of people, questioning the right of self-determination. So we are actually one of those cases that is compelling and challenging the international community to look through to see that some of the laws and some of the policies that they put in place are not working, and they have to change them. You cannot keep the law when the law is against the people. It doesn't work that way. So we have to understand that we are actually just coming up, at the right time that the world is in crisis. All around the world, there are places that there are rules that doesn't fit anymore, doesn't comply anymore. And the same, we are telling the youth that the union or whatever they call it that we have with Cameroon, for the people of Cameroon, is not working, and we are not going to continue it, and we have to change it, and that has to be done. It's not a matter that we are. It's not a matter that we are debating. We are just telling them what is, and they have to comply because we have the right to that.
Yeah. There have been major mainstream media that has published specifically United Nations officials that are in charge of our sphere. Like you have the representative of the Secretary General who is in charge of Central Africa that we find ourselves being tied with. And he is somebody who has been known to have been probably compromised. There have been an accusation of one of his top staff, deputy, who have been engaged in the selling or benefiting from the exploitation of timber from the Cameroons, forging documents, and people are raising questions about his credibility. The representative of the Secretary General is going to be the hand of the execution of any resolution plan that will be passed or that will be pushed forward by the Swedish government. And the Swedish diplomat have given his confidence on this official. Does the AGC think that this official is going to really produce the result that we expect? And have you guys taken any measures to make sure that the Swedish government understand that these people may not do what the Swedish government is expecting them to do?
Okay, I'll make a simple example, Capo. If I was a student in a school, a university, or a primary school, let's say, for example, and I have an issue with the school, if my parents have to come to the school to address that issue, my parents have to pay their support to the principal, because by protocol they cannot come to the school and undermine the principal. So what the ambassador was saying, or what he's saying, is that of course there's protocol they have to follow. He knows that the office is just to show some courtesy of diplomacy, but it doesn't mean that that office can undermine or that office can play any obstacle role to disrupt the agenda of the Swedish government. It doesn't mean that. And of course, the Swedish government also have places that they can take their inquiry or request directly to without going through that office. But they can also always just attach him to what they are planning to do. So it's just a matter of diplomacy and protocol. You show that you respect the due process. You cannot send, for example, you cannot send a letter to the president without passing through the vice president. Or these are the things that It's just saying that, okay, we know that Mr. Ford is there. We thank you and we appreciate what you are trying to do. And we call on it's just protocol. It's just protocol and diplomacy. So those people will not, and they will not stand against the Swedish government, not at all. And also, the thing is also that the Swedish government on its own has more chance than the European Union that they can go on to. And these are places that they are very much closer to, and they are very much respected in these committees. And when they are coming in these places, I think they are more credible than Mr. Ford, who is the representative of the Secretary General to Central African region in Africa. Of course, we question his ability. That was one of the things we were discussing on the meeting. When I was in Sweden for a 2 days working session with them, we were discussing on a number of range of things. Of course, those guys who are in charge, and we're talking about France in the area, because Cameroon is classified as a territory under France colonial period, and many countries always have that issue of France. So we were discussing about it, and we're looking at the various options. They are already aware of those kind of things, and they know about it. And I'm also, yes, they need our support, and with our support, they can always what they are trying to pass through the UN, because they are not doing this for the. If they are coming with their Ambazonians, they can take us by the hand to climb the ladder, and they take us to the place that we want to be held. Those are the things that we are looking forward to, and we shall continue this diplomacy with these countries. And we are happy that the place now that is very good and very productive for the Swedish government, and hope that our people also will. They will give their full support when the time comes, because at one stage it will be one that the whole nation diplomacy.
Yeah, so we know that the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Guterres, had requested that an intervention plan following that resolution in the United Nations Security Council be made. But that plan, the date that was supposed to be presented in the Security Council, was postponed. Are you aware, is the AGC aware of that plan or any shape of the intervention they are planning to prescribe? Because we know that plan is going to be very crucial in what can be done. Because according to the United Nations rules, if they have to intervene in a humanitarian crisis and they have any sort of obstacle or on cooperative local government, then they can always come back to ask for direct intervention, maybe by sanctioning, maybe by other measures. Are you aware of the type of plan that this representative is putting, or have you followed up to make sure that the plan for intervention in the humanitarian crisis is not also compromised? Because he can come with a very stupid plan and Paul Biya allow him to come and do whatever he does, and then he go back and then that resolution is dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you listen to the statement that was issued by the ambassador, Swedish ambassador at the UN on Wednesday, you can see that he has convinced knowledge or understanding that there is a need to address the problem in the Cameroons. He's not talking about humanitarian support. He's talking there's a need of this grievance. There's an evident reason why we have this situation, and that is based on the resolution 1608 of 1961. That is based on the fact that we have been colonized. So they understand that there's a need, there's a reason, a solid foundational reason for these grievances that we have. And we are not going to address the product of that grievances. That is what we're talking about, the humanitarian crisis. We are going to address the crisis, the reason behind the problem. And that is addressing the relationship between that and us. And that is the point that we are holding on. We are not looking at the humanitarian crisis as the problem. No, the problem is, why are we having a humanitarian crisis? What has caused this crisis? And that is what we are focusing on. And like I was saying, that if we get to the point where the Swedish government come out, every government have the right to come out and acknowledge any country, if they want to do it, they can do it. That we have decided to grant Southern Cameroon as an independent state, and we give them the right to have the embassy in Sweden. No country can stop Sweden from making that decision. Sweden will start to do it. And when that comes, we are starting to function as a government, and we can have our government put in place in Stockholm. We have office there, and we start to function and approach the rest of the world as state. And they think that Why not Southern Cameroon?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting is the address of the Swedish representative there. He spoke about, he didn't, like you said, he did not really talk about the humanitarian crisis in terms of the survival of the people, which shows that they are really aware. But one of the things that he mentioned, which I want you to throw light on, is the evocation of the conflict prevention charters of the United Nations, which are recent laws there about conflict resolution. That is a very powerful invocation of that law. If they are mentioning that they want in that plan, or that the plan of action should involve conflict resolution, that may have a potential of them looking our issue in a more direct mean of intervention that may require far beyond the scope we are looking for, like just simply going and forcing each other to come out and dialogue and resolve the root cause, but also talking about conflict resolution may make them to consider the prospect of the war, the destabilization of the Gulf of Guinea, and have contingency measures to even potentially provide us with a police force like they did in Haiti. Haiti was a humanitarian situation. They end up providing a force of over 60,000 troops to Haiti.
Yeah.
So please, can you throw more light on the implication of this evocation of the laws of conflict prevention and what it means in the context of our struggle?
What it means is that the world cannot sit down and watch Mr. Biya and his gang massacre Southern Cameroons. And that is what we are trying to get the Cameroon government to understand. You cannot kill people and the world will be quiet because you claim you are acting under your constitutional guiding, or you are acting to protect your national sovereignty of the country. No, 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 Mr. Biya, no. You are old and you don't know what the international community is functioning, how they are functioning right now. At the moment, the lives of human beings, that is the main law, the main policy that is around the resolution, the conflict resolution. Because conflict cannot be going on. When conflict is going on, what happens? People are being killed, properties are being damaged, historical places are being destroyed. And that is why the United Nations made such a resolution to protect the life of human beings. So if anyone is thinking that can go outside because they are acting under command to massacre people, they are failing to understand that you have the right to protect human life even if you are against the government. I advise Cameroon government, the Republic of Cameroon militaries, to go out, get the military weapons, walk away from the Cameroon, go to the United Nations, seek asylum, that you can't kill people under command because it's wrong. You will be regarded as a hero. Don't go and kill people that you have command to do that, because you were employed to protect those people you are killing. You're not employed to go and kill them. So if you go and kill them under command, it means that you have already violated the number one objective you were employed as a soldier, as a military person, law enforcement person. You were employed by that to protect those lives you are killing. So how are they thinking now? I really don't understand. What is going on in their mind? I don't really understand, because you cannot claim to be a medical doctor, for example, and you go out killing the patients that you were supposed to protect. It doesn't apply to any international law. It doesn't apply to any law that combine and put them together to function. So, like I was saying again, some of those old laws that were made by governments and the United Nations in the 1940s, 1960s, they are being challenged. Because do they apply? Do they really fit in place? No. And now the world is changing, the places are changing, people are asking for the right of self-determination. We need new laws, we need new community, we need new UN, and we need, we are saying new Cameroons, where there will be the Republic of Cameroon and the people of Southern Cameroon living side by side as countries, not as one anymore.
Yeah, there is also one aspect which is very important, talking about the responsibility of the senior officers and high-ranking officers in terms of the prosecution of people for crimes against humanity in the ICJ. And you mentioning that scope. One of the things that I find lacking in that presentation of the Security Council, which is something that I think may come up if your authority tries to push it up, is the issue regarding the systematic violation that is involved. Because when you see tactics being deployed, like the man who was displayed on camera as an Ambazonia general, who was beaten in a way that didn't have a name, it's called Balangswa. You saw the beheading of the partial beheading, which was done under a video recording by the troops of La République du Cameroon, which has you can trace it back right to the treating of the Barsas and the Bamileke. And you look the video coming from the CPC, where those two ladies were sexually assaulted and humiliated in a way that they used to do, called Kale Kale. Are you guys trying to establish, because we know in law, to do something in a systematic way that is a proof of a hierarchy input into those soldiers, because they were deliberately videoing it. You saw their commander was relaxed watching the whole thing. Are you guys pursuing the systematic nature of the atrocity being going on with the intention that any report coming from it can be used to prosecute these criminals who are perpetrating this violence against the people of Ambazonia?
Yes, of course, we have been documenting every case that our people have suffered from the hands of Cameroon government. And these things only go a good way to defend our case and to project to the international community what kind of institution is actually in place in Cameroon, you know. Because if you see a law enforcement officials killing a civilian and making video of that act, that is insanity. That is unheard of. In any part of the world, we have never heard of anything like this, you know. So when we are showing these things, this evidence and this proof to the international community that this is actually what we are dealing with, you can see the extent of lawlessness. You can see the degree of barbarism, you know. And then they are convinced that actually these people are even animals, that they're supposed to come up and, because if any law enforcement person can really have a to be committing war crimes and at the same time making video of that entertainment and publish them outside, it means that that country is just like ISIS. So we have all this
I think that
evidence that we are using.
I wanted to submit that it is not actually lawlessness. It really proves that this is the law. This is what they are really intending to do, because if you watch those videos, the cameraman is actually addressing the audience, telling them that this is what they are doing. So it is part of a systematic policy by a government in place to go out there, humiliate these people that they think they are demanding for something that they classified as something on a taboo in their constitution. And part of their strategy of doing it is to kill them, humiliate them, dehumanize them. It is a law in that land to treat us like that. It is not something like that. Those police people are not crazy. They have been sent to do that. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. You are very right. That's true. That's the message he gives, that this is the law and order in Cameroon. They have legalized crimes against humanity in the country. And you can kill, you can rape, you can loot properties, you can abuse, you can dehumanize Southern Cameroonians, is the law. You know, and these are the same things that we saw during the apartheid in South Africa. They were free to kill the blacks. They were free to dehumanize the blacks. We saw the same thing in the times in America of segregation. Blacks were subjected to killings, dehumanization. And every time we saw the same when Hitler was, the Nazi Germany was up, it was the right thing to kill the Jews, to kill the Africans, to kill anyone who is non-white and blue eyes. So now we are saying that in Cameroon, the law and order is to kill Southern Cameroonians. That is the law and order, and that is how, and that is the mission of the day for every Cameroon soldier, to kill any person in Ambazonia you see. It doesn't need to be a terrorist. It doesn't have to be an activist. As long as you are Southern Cameroonians, there is a law passed by the Cameroon government that you are liable to be killed by any military official of the Republic. So that is a legalized crime, that legalized system, legalized policy, legalized government killing its own neighbors from the other side of the other country. So this is what we are trying to show to the international community, and these things are beyond any imagination. You cannot dispute them, because they are videos that speak for themselves.
Yeah, I think what about your policy and your measures to really educate the Ambazonian people to really understand that every troops from La République du Cameroon, if you see the order that was given by their president Paul Biya, he declared war. The mean they have to understand is that That war means that anybody who have an aspiration to be free, an aspiration which we see practiced in other countries like Norma, British have the right to pull themselves out of a union. And they are saying that anybody who have that aspiration should be targeted for killing, should be targeted for execution, your house should be targeted for burning, and the whole, you are dehumanized to a level of a terrorist, just for your aspiration. So how do you guys campaign to raise this awareness? Because when I look back in that Pan-Cameroon union that they are existing, you look in the TV, they are still talking about the army reacting to things that are happening. They seems not to get the reality that this army are actually executing a war against an aspiration.
Yes, this is one of the things that we were discussing also in the recent meeting in Sweden, that because we have to come to the reality that we are facing a war. We are facing a regime that is coming out there to kill us, to silence us by every means. And this what we see going on in Cameroon is what we term the slave to master relationship, where the master will go to any extent to get the slave to conform. And unless we tell these things to the international community clearly this way, for them to understand that our right to life is deeply threatened, and we are fighting now, not because of the things we were even talking about with the regime 1 year ago. We are fighting to protect our life, our right to live, because if we don't fight, we are going to be killed. So, and there is international convention, the UN convention to protect the right to life. It's a universal right for everyone. It is my right not to kill, and it's everybody's right not to kill me as well. So if the government has declared a war, kill the people of Southern Cameroon, it means at the same time the people of Southern Cameroon's right to protect their right to life is being invoked. So the very moment Mr. Biya said that there's a war against Southern Cameroon people, the very moment he gave us the right to invoke and use our rights under the United Nations Charter, the 1968 Convention, to protect our right to live, because we can't be killed, and in the war front we have to fight to stay alive. So this is the argument that we are putting out there to the international community, and they understand, and we are acting in law, we are acting in line with the law. So self-defense, and I say this to the boys in the Ground Zero, that defend your block. You are acting under international law. Defend your block because you have the right to live. If you don't live, you die. And if you die, then everything is gone. You have to fight to stay alive. If that's the only thing we have to do, we have to do, and we don't have to be ashamed of it. We have to tell them we are fighting to live. Because if we go to these days, they are asking what is going on with the fight. What is going on? We have to say, yes, we are fighting. You want to know why we are fighting? Because we have a war going on. Because the government has ordered that we should be slaughtered. Because the government has ordered us to use helicopter gunships to kill us, and that is why we are fighting to protect our right to life. Because we are not going to go on exile in Nigeria. We cannot leave our homes and villages and run away when we can fight. No.
Yeah, and I think you even see this systematic way of doing it, because now you see they are calling this, they are like making a distinction. They are killing Ambazonians. They are like, these are Ambazonian or Cameroonians. Like if you have conformed, you have been, you subject yourself, and then they call you Cameroonian. Oh, we are killing Ambazonians. You yes. Find it even in their journalists, they talk about they are Ambazonian. They are coming after Ambazonian. So every Southern Cameroonians who bear the name Ambazonian, either by association from our history or by your aspiration, you become a target.
You are a target. Yeah.
Yeah, become a target. And Mr. Eugene, I really appreciate the work you have been doing as a diplomat. I don't want to keep on calling your youthfulness, because a lot of time people are very arrogant to us youth, because they see us like we are soft target for things like that. But I want to ask you in terms of the help you are getting, because I've seen you traveling from one country to another. Are you having a lot of local support, like your latest trip to Sweden to meet the Swedish government and have this meeting? Do you have a lot of support from the people around Sweden there? And did you receive any support from that community? Or do you try to initiate a contact with those people in Sweden when you arrive there?
Well, I think that when we start things with diplomacy, there are some certain rules that we apply them. And when we start at the very beginning, it was good that we go as a community to approach authorities. So I remember at some point last year, the Southern Communion community in Sweden, we were very close in these diplomatic dealings, and we were. I was privileged to be among these guys, and we plan how we can do things, and they gave me the go ahead to also use their community email address, and they gave me the password and every stuff for me to communicate with the Swedish government. And I was doing that. I was responsible for that, and I did that and orchestrated the first meeting we went together last year with the community. I went with their chair lady and a couple of them as well over there. But after that meeting, things went down because for some reason they couldn't just follow up these things, and I have to keep up things myself. And so when I was coming out, the stakes are very high now, Capo Daniel, and we cannot go again and announce things in public. We do things silently. So there is no need to announce and always get people in touch, because when you try to get one person, then there's coming 10 persons. So now the stakes are very high that we are in deep negotiation with governments to get them on board, because I think that we are going with few numbers and going quietly. So when I was coming to this time around, I informed the chair lady as well. She was aware of my coming, but I invited her to come to the meeting, but unfortunately she had some prior engagement. She couldn't make it to that meeting. So then I came there alone. And she said to me, you can go alone, because I cannot recommend any other person to come with you, because the stakes are very high now. So I went to Sweden alone, and I came out, and I was shocked with the embarrassment I saw from social media with people from Sweden trying to sabotage everything and saying all type of things. It was very shocking to me.
Yeah, I think
because
it is.
that's why I cannot go to their community and undermine their community. I understand that very well, and that's why if they knew, they should have contacted the chairpersons and asked them. They knew I was coming to Sweden, and so what I just saw was a street fight, And in diplomacy, you don't pick a street fight in diplomacy. It's not protocol.
Yeah, I think that is very unfortunate that the community of Sweden, they didn't even contact their own leader there to inquire if she was aware or not. I actually have some people in Sweden who have contacted this platform. Some of them actually went to the same place you took a pictures with the guard, and they sent me those same pictures and said, oh, look, I can do exactly what this gentleman has done. And this is a proof that whatever he's saying is a propaganda. The work that was done in Sweden was already done by them. And without taking word out of your mouth, can you please address this crowd of people, in particularly those who already went there physically to take pictures and share it on social media? Some send it to me directly. It doesn't pay anybody if I show it. I wouldn't want to embarrass them. But I think, speak for yourself, Mr. Eugene.
Well, Capo, and this is like, why are we doing the jobs of Republic of Cameroon to ourselves? We are fighting ourselves. We are helping the Cameroon government in a way that we are projecting ourselves to the international community as people who are not fit to work by themselves. So we should really stop this kind of negativity. And I understand their grievances anyway. I understand their grievances. But again, these people have my contact. They would have contacted me privately for a talk, but they never did. And they went on straight away to sabotage me. I did not say that I was the foreign ministry at the King's Palace. I went there for the Swedish speaker after my meeting with them, and it was a privileged opportunity for them to take me to such a place. And so I'm very shocked that they spend their time that way, to invest their time in such negativity. They went out and sent some message talking about some things that really, I was just laughing. And let us not come to the public and wash our dirty linens, but I just want to remind them that last year you people gave me the email address of your association in Sweden, and you needed to get you the ability to go there to the foreign ministry. I did that last year. We went there last year together, but I gave you an assignment to follow up that meeting, which you never did, and every relationship went down. The shadows and things were down there. And we started things. I took things back anyway, and just because I didn't get you to the meetings, and then it becomes a sabotage mission. I was just surprised, Capo Daniel. If they claim they are so close to these authorities like they were, why did they know about what was going on at the Security Council? Why were they not informed? Why was it that the message has to come from me and not from them? If they knew, if they were really in contact with the authorities, So I would just encourage them that we are already at a very good place with the Swedish government, and I will beg them that don't undermine this struggle. Don't go and scramble there to sabotage me. You are sabotaging the 8 people of Southern Cameroon, not Eugene. No, what I'm doing, I'm doing the struggle not for myself. So if you go there, sabotage what we are doing, you are sabotaging the people of Cameroon. You are sabotaging your own self. So I will call all those in Sweden, especially those who came out with the videos and went to take pictures, that please, you can contribute that to energy to something positive. The meeting will not take us anywhere. So
Yeah.
if you come to Finland and make a meeting here, I will call you and applaud you. I will not call you to sabotage. I will call you and give you a big cup of coffee or tea, and we talk, and I appreciate your effort. The fact that I came to Sweden, they send me messages and say Swedish is their space. I should not come to their space. Very soon they'll say they own the whole of Europe, or very soon they'll say they own even my apartment in Finland. So I don't really know what is going on with Southern Cameroonians, but I really think that they should come to their senses. People have to stop all this sabotage. It will not help us. We are only doing the jobs of the Cameroon. And if the people of Sweden claim that they own Sweden, if you claim that you own Sweden, why would I come right from Finland to do a job that is behind your backyard? And you have the courage to come out and try to sabotage me. It's a shame.
I think it's really sorry. It's very. I must really apologize for putting you through that, even to answer. But I think sometimes we have to answer those things in the public space because they are already talking around the public space. And it's also very unfortunate because I've seen this trend. When you went to the UNPO, a lot of people trashed it instead of encouraging you. And the fear is the people actually taking steps to undermine what you are doing. And we have seen Sok Foncha coming out to say that he's willing to go to war. And he's addressing the international media who actually interviewed the soldiers of fighting under the ADF. And to try to, if we are undermining any effort people are doing in good faith, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I'm as mad as hell with such behavior. And I want you to talk a little bit about the policy of the AGC in terms of how it treats other groups, so that people should understand that they are not fighting each other. You are not trying to take somebody else's job, but you are just trying to do the right thing, something that you feel you can, and something that you have a right to do as an Ambazonian.
Yeah, of course, Capo, this is something that we are saying all the time, that we are all fighting the same battle. So if for example, if anyone is doing anything good for the struggle, let them do it and we appreciate them all. It's a victory for us all. It's not a victory for one person. It's a victory for Ambazonia. So the AGC position is that we endorse and we encourage every person who does anything good for the struggle. You can see that clearly when Mr. Foncha made the call that Ekema is gone. The AGC leader was very quick and fast to congratulate him on social media. So this is how the agency is. We are fighting the Republic of Cameroon, not ourselves. So I think that every Southern Cameroonian should have that mind. We need to be nationalists. We have to have a spirit of nationalism. We have to love our country. We have to be patriotic to our country. That we have to put our country first, not any affiliation, not any groups. So if a nationalist doesn't take us to Boya, we are still going to be fighting in the bushes to get our real independence. If the ZANU-PF party in Zimbabwe, if Mugabe did not stand as a nationalist to fight for freedom of the people, they would have been compromised. Look today in South Africa, they thought they were compromised at some point. So now they are crying that they need a nationalist to take them again. So I would say, and I'll call every Southern Cameroonian, that we all have to be nationalistic. I'm a nationalist of Cameroon. I put the country first before the agency. I will challenge everyone to do the same. I know you are doing that, Capo Daniel, but every Southern Cameroonian has to have a spirit of nationalism. So in that sense, we put the country first and the struggle first, not affiliation or groups. Because I was very shocked and surprised to see the Sweden came out to sabotage me. The very people who gave me their email address and their password to use it for them and get the meeting at the following meeting. I initiated their first ever meeting to go there themselves. The very people came out and sabotaged me that I came for Sweden for sightseeing. It is that is not freedom nationalism. That is a spirit of betrayal. You betray your own people because you put yourself first, because you were not included in the meeting. So it is really sad. It is really sad. Because these are you have seen the screenshot for yourself. These are the same guys that I have been working with for the past 1 year. But just because I did not invite them to the meeting, they step out and sabotage me. Where is their spirit of nationalism? Where is their love for Southern Cameroon? They put themselves before the struggle. Why? Why would they do that? If you come to Finland and do the same thing, I will come out as a nationalist and congratulate you and take you to dine with you, give you some kudos. I was expecting the same from my brothers and sisters in Sweden, but they said it out clearly, like the Republic we do. You know, it means if they have a meeting to sabotage me in Sweden before the meeting, they would have done that. It was good that they only knew when I was done. And I thank God that I didn't announce that I was coming there to any of them, because they would have sabotaged me before the meeting.
Yeah, I will challenge the country head of Sweden and the lady who represent that community. I wouldn't want to call her name because you know some of the people, they are just behind. They don't want to be on social media. I will challenge her to really go to her community and really try to explain things and try to calm down the situation and let them know that we are all on the same side. We are really sick and tired of the infighting. It's really unfortunate. But Mr. Eugene, I want to bring this thing on another light, because a lot of people will say that, maybe the AGC is really not what it says it is, because they will say, they look at the good job the AGC is doing, and then they will say, but AGC is a member of the ACT. They do have a good collaborative memorandum with the group of the ACT. And they will say the fact that AGC is portraying their diplomatic effort as a diplomatic effort of the AGC is in comparison with somebody like the ACYL, who in their publication presented their diplomatic offensive in South Africa as part of a recognition drive by the ACT. They will say the lack of AGC portraying ACT in what they do, it shows that the AGC in their stomach are not willing to work with other people. What would you say to people like that?
Well, I think, you know, these things come again to what I'm saying, that if we are not all nationalists, if we are not all in love with Southern Cameroons, then we have our ego, or maybe our affiliation is going to push us to make this kind of very compromising statement and attacks on one another, you know. So the ACT is a well-established platform, and the ACT is a platform that has institutions. The ACT, the members that are there, they are free to launch their own personal diplomatic missions and different kind of stuff. So this was clearly and fully an AGC initiative, and we portray also that AGC is part of ACT and ACT is part of AGC. So we always use the ACT as a point of reference. So on the broader scale, we are not presenting ourselves always like AGC. We are presenting ourselves as ACT when we go to diplomatic because the more people you represent, the more credited you are to these institutions. So you are coming as an individual is a difficult thing. And that is something that I want the people of Sweden to understand, or all around Southern Cameroon. We are small community NGOs. Have the level of contact they can go with authorities. When things are going hard, they need to speak with higher bodies like ACT and other institutions, not the communities anymore, because the community represents a couple of hundred of persons there. So when we are talking about the vast majority of Southern Cameroons, then they have to talk to the bigger platforms. So being a member of ACT, it's a plus for our diplomacy in AGC, and if you have the community platform that you're talking about, it will be a big blow for diplomacy as well. That will be one and collaborative. That will make us very serious in the international community, because we need this unity that is coming. I hope that we have it. So again, I will say, let us be nationalistic. Let us all be nationalistic. Love for Amazonia. Put yourself below the struggle. Put yourself below the education people. Don't put yourself above. You don't have to be part and parcel of everything. You don't have to be involved in everything. Let those who can do, just choose what you can do, and when you are skillful, where you are proficient, be in that place. You know? Because if I go into, for example, like in the government of China, Capo, I may not know how many persons who have been there before me, who are from China, who are from somewhere else. So you cannot claim that you own one area, or this is the place, and I have been doing this. You can talk of what you're doing. Don't speak of what others are doing, because you don't know who have been there before you come to that place. This is what I'm saying. So we have to understand this thing. We are fighting the same enemy, but don't put yourself or your appellation before the whole struggle. It is a shame that we are not nationalistic. It is a shame that we are fighting for against the Republic, and we are trying to do the same thing. We have to be nationalistic. I am an Amazonian. I will not step on the toe of another Amazonian on the course of this struggle. I will not. I will stand behind them and support them instead. So I will encourage every single Nigerian, let us support one another. Let us come strong, united. We present ourselves to the community of united people who we will know what we are doing and we will know what we want. In that way, they will understand us very clearly.
So yeah, thank you, Mr. Eugene, and let us try to move up to something else so that we can round up. We have already been for 2 hours. I apologize. That is my fault for my lengthy opening statement, so that we can have maybe a couple of minutes to receive some questions from the audience. I want to ask you about the upcoming convention in the Americas, the Unity Convention, and I know Chairman Ayabacho has openly said that he has accepted, he has engaged himself to participate in that forum, which is an independent forum for unity. I just wanted to talk about it because coming from the act, as you said, that it maybe it's a matter of style. You don't necessarily need to come and tell everybody you are doing it as well in synchrony with the act. What is ACT doing, and what is the position of ACT vis-a-vis? We know they have confirmed from the organizers, but I want to hear from your own mouth. What is the position of the various nationalist group in ACT in terms of this unity convention that is going to happen in Canada? And as a people of ACT, are you guys also going to rely on fundings from that committee, which are very handicapped because everybody else is, since they are an independent body, they are really not well finances? I'm seeing them not being able to raise that money. Is there anything that ACT is going to do in terms of supporting them or taking some of the costs, or what just answer to those concerns that have laid them out?
Well, I think first of all, I want to use this initiative to thank those who have been working hard that there should be this united platform. It's a very great initiative. It's something I have been dreaming for. It will be very good that I wake up one day and then we are all on one platform. That will be one of the best days of my entire life in this struggle. So I thank them very much for that hard work, and they have to continue without sleeping because I think it's a very big challenge in front of them. So I think that all the things that you are raising, these are things that I think all the frontline movements, they have to sit down and decide how they are going to be collaborating in terms of finances and other stuff. So they have to have their various committees from the different frontline movement that has to draft their own memorandum of understanding how they can be part of a united platform. In that way, then they are going to come up with those defined policies and cut the lines and dot the I and cut the T's as well. So I personally cannot tell you what they will come up with because I don't know if I'll be part of that committee or I'm going to be part of such a committee. But I think that is what they have to do. So they can come together and draft some common together, and then we'll see how they can. Of course, ACT is going to support, or I hope and I want to believe that they will support the full initiative that we have a united platform, and I hope all the leaders are going to support as well and come in strongly. So we can united, and something that is needed for the way forward, and that is proud. So I'm looking forward to that day that will be announced, and I see our people working hand in hand in one.
Okay, so Mr. Eugene, I don't want to talk now for one lingua because we conclude as say now the tradition for the platform say we must talk for the language we now the most populous language for down there now the talk this what the talk and so. I want to talk say me talk for people them for them they for inside bush them buy and sell, and the woman the way the people they push truck, all man the way hustle, people the way na the bike people they run bomb their bike them. Where the land you don't years you don't go for Sweden, go come back, you don't go back for your house. With the land years Sweden government and decide say you go support the United Nations, their Security Council, the resolution where they don't make and say that law where they don't talk say they must can intervene now to make sure say they solve the problem for Southern Cameroon. I want me to talk for them. Where them then we know say they are thing where they want an independence. And they key them also now because they want independence. They want say me they shut up, me they no talk against it, they want independence. We want ask say now where you go talk for the people them. Me then get hope. Say I said that she don't go inside bush. So one day they bomb their motorcycle because they want independence. Say now wait till you now which news they will now which talk we want bring them for the national.
Well,
no talk say no pigeon eh.
I want to over. Well, I think I know pigeon very well. Of course, I'm a Tico man, and Tico will be.
Talk for pigeon. Talk for pigeon.
So I'm talking about pigeon too. I'm talking about pigeon. So we all, what I want to talk now say, me every Ambazonian, me all Ambazonian, mommy, papa, Pekin, every person, whether the center of a bush or on the side of the height, I want me you understand one thing will be very important for we all. Change will come by us. Now we the people make change. The person who don't drink for 55 years, who don't cry, who don't call, who don't beg for help. For some angel will come from heaven, come down. For some person from the side can help us. Mommy, papa, begin them, my brother them. Now we be that angel don't pray for. So we then will stand strong. They will sacrifice. They don't burn our house, they don't kill our brother, they don't kill our mommy, they don't kill our papa, them, they don't rape our sister them. The price not be pay. So we all know that we be the people already pray for deliver us from the hands of the republic. Let be now some man go can't do it for we. Now we go do the fight by ourselves. So if you go for your house, what say this someone can deliver you, mommy, papa, begin. No. Now you get to deliver yourself. That do something. Not the talk say some man go come, now who go come. Now you get to start the action. When start the action, others will join you. So we beg say every papa, make your family, find them shelter, follow our others there. This struggle, this fight, you don't really reach for not finish. You don't really climb the mountain or the carriage for top. Now last minute now you return. And what goes on the talk say water, I will see very soon all we. So point I say move change your mindset. Now change what thinking. Not the thing saying that some man go can't free you. Not the thing saying that some people go to America for Europe can't free you. Now we give a free one. We only cry for this kind of mentality for the past 50 years. Now we will do and we say, mommy, papa, picking that beguna. Oh man, we come out, we defend our block, we defend our village, we defend our farm, block by block. Them not some person who can't do it for winner, we more do it by ourselves.
Yeah, not true. I hope say I did look whether some person go write some question. If some person not write some question, I'll beg you to just stand my finish my closing statement, and then I'll give you the last word to support talk. But just do the hanging. I did look for people ready to watch me live in an interactive way. Now if you put question, then I'll ask them for Mr Eugene. So wait till Eugene talk for all on our own, and they will grant and say, "Mommy and Papa, then all my way they for bush." Me man no talk say I go surrender. Say mo talk say hey. They don't about do isute mu don't live this thing say independent no. Me no man no ever come by that mindset. For place on a day, the war must see say we don't talk say even I say they will kill all we know. We no go change which we don't ask them. Say all people they don't die so for this way they ask them so no. We must show the war say we don't talk say we no go ever change them. Because the thing we wipe up here the key people then so big people then bomb has na say one me talk say okay we don't have tired. Without our see that beating the too much to want surrender and I say anything or anything we did when again we will take them. Me no man put them my head because say the other country the way Eugene and go for they go see them. They don't talk say they go help them now, they go can't stand now say they want support me the international community can help we because they know if you don't let me the keep people the anyhow so. And people that me all man begin gather all a document that has go bury and for instance some place so if you hide and find because they bomb any has. And to this La Republic the army they do them. They don't do and I say they vex. Now their government not talk to me then do and so. So why you see them, you begin to take your care. No don't feel say they as you be strong man begin so the people see you kill them. Begin take your care, begin to look place and the hide. Make sure say all them. You see any La Republic army, no say them be danger for your survivor. They pick kill you because probably I don't talk say any man when Amazonia me then kill them. It means say any man when don't talk say one freedom. Any man talk say one independent me then kill them. Now say that war it be. Now say Master Eugene the talk them. So. Mr. Eugene, I want to give you the last word. Me talk the last word and then we'll go closer because we don't pass to 2 hours 30 minutes. We'll be the plan so we'll do around 1 hour. So I want to give you talk the last talk for all man them. Wait, one man day some man day Tony Banks so he ask some question. He talk say what ask and say if they come for referendum, say the United Nations and decide say the one can say me all man can vote, like how they be vote for plebiscite, but they can want a referendum. Say the one can vote for the La Republic them. He said, now we go conduct them, now we can make that kind of thing. If they talk to the one solve the problem by voting. Say me them vote like how we don't go vote for plebiscite. But now in La Republic they control our place. If they come by that kind of thing, they know can't thief the vote like how they be thief for from the hand.
No, they never tip the vote. If if we get a referendum, my country people, you go see some of we go come for your villages. We go personally travel down. We go come down, you go see we, go see Capo Daniel, you go see Mark Barata, you go see Tapan, you go see Ayabacho, you go see all the leaders. We go come down for Ambazonia. We say safe, we are food. And if referendum won't be organized, international community will be witness. We'll get countries like Sweden, Germany, Finland, America, and other countries will supervise this referendum, and the UN will be placed down there. So we will come for every village. We will make sure we take people, the mommy, them, picking them. Every man we don't be for voting age. We will come, we will conduct for every corner village. They need to play no matter which one. And this one, now why do we see that public knows to organize it? They agree to the many referendum. We don't win. We get a 100% clean away from them. And I waste the one time organize referendum. If they fear wata, me organize and they go see. You know, so that time they take the election, they don't pass it. This election we organize, so now we go be down there. We go be like a part of the organizing committee. They go get part of the organizing committee, and we go come down. People like go, you go see Apple Cream, and me Gerard go come for down there. They go see Wuna. They go come campaign. They go come give information for people. They go do and so. Then let me take the vote. It will be a genuine and honest election. We will go on.
Yeah, Mr. Eugene. So one thing that I want to ask you now, say, like we so will be activism. We get limited resources. Something that happens so sometimes they come, some people they ask and the international community, them the kind of NGO the way they want to know what it happen. They ask and say, the video report they don't take and so now which time they be take and this thing happen at which village. So we talk about and the only two will tell and I say anytime when you see something they happen when a bad thing where they put they want to do about people, then whether they want kill or somebody picking they want to do something. Where they record and me they talk the date, the time, talk the location. I want to ask and say una for AGC, una get some kind thing una put or some email them or some kind way una they collect all the information so that if tomorrow then talk say they want catch people then go the people they keep people then like poor beer and so all the wicked people that are tanganji poor and came at them all the wicked people them. Now how we put if you can show them say show the war say now this way the people they be doing at this time so they be doing for we. So something that if we show if we help we for tell we so that people the way they for granted the year. They will not help them keep all these things them because we activists will not get that power, will not get that resources then.
Well, yes, I will take their question quickly. Some person they ask for them, they say how go make sure say Francophone will not vote if they make referendum. Well, we go identify one Amazonians them by birth, and they may say best way if both parents they come from Amazonia territory, they will get eligibility for vote, and in that way we not get no Francophone will vote for any if we organize any referendum. And come to your question, of course, we get sources on the ground or get contacts where that we get source of information. And it is very important to get those information immediately as they happen because the international community needs information, very vital. And those things, I will also encourage and call our community to say people have to involve the activists and people for social media, especially for Twitter. The Twitter campaign will be very heavy. You get a Twitter account, find me for Twitter, you'll see me, follow me, let's tweet, let's tell the world what is going on because we need those information to be out there for our people.
Yeah, so two people ask two questions. I join the two ask them. One na Bafan the ranks and then one na Tony Banks. They ask and say this, so if they want to make referendum, they will make an of all Cameroon. That means they will act like Republic also and we. And then another Tony Banks they ask and say, if we get independent, they will pay all my way and suffer. That means the person with the ram money has. And Bazonia government will come pay them.
I like that question. Siam, if we get independence, the Republic government go pay every soul we don't kill us in Cameroon. They go pay every property, every house, everything will be accounted for. Now the last point I will need them. Every person don't die, they go pay every life to the last small bruise don't get us Ambazonia person. So that me don't be very clear, every person know because those are the things we are going to take them to the international court. That is the thing. Their crimes against humanity, those killings, those raping and all those things. So me or people they document everything. I beg every Ambazonia person. We not document everything for down. They burn your house, they destroy your car, they keep us not document that because when everything goes settle down, these are the things that we have to negotiate on. So this economic cost, they will pay every life. They will never go without paying. They will pay every life. I can promise that with the last drop of my blood, they will pay all.
Yeah.
And the second question.
Yeah. I want to talk
It's
say
not,
also me people
yeah,
that know this thing don't happen for plenty place them. For place for Yugoslavia where they be one go get their own independence, they want separate for come up for
exactly,
Yugoslavia. That way they be slave then come out, then catch that leader for inside Serbia way if you been at the president, that way be the key people then answer a general them. Then take them go down for
exactly.
court. They don't put them for prison. So one even go commit suicide. So me all man
Yes,
moon and know say all the way they do am. One day they go catch Pobia. All that is general wey they do all that thing they take that video so they go put them, they will show them one day. Una no worry. Then the other question where they ask and I say when they make vote, they go vote now for the two side or they go vote only for one side. They go vote for
for
Cameroon,
Wednesday.
French Cameroon, and for Ambazonia or not just for one side.
No, no, the vote. The thing I say for every in every society, there always be a policy must be put in place to protect the right of minorities. If Cameroon government be ever want, if ever get good interest of people southern Cameroons, they were supposed to put those policies in place since 1961, and they were supposed to keep those things, respected them in the so-called nonsense federation that we get them before. But since they didn't have any good mind for us, they decided to destroy every policy to protect our own rights. Now, at this moment, the only to go to I said the referendum will be conducted before starting Cameroon. We have to decide where do we want to go. No Francophone person will go. What will happen? So the vote is only about us because it is talking about our rights and our own protection of our existence.
Yeah, and also the people where them born, even if you born man like if you born person from side, yeah, the person for a birth certificate, they should play the man come out. They write and say, "Mommy come over this side, Papa come over this side." So more no worry. Say if they want make election, some person where the money for some other side, we can take election. We can take election for some side. That one you know if work because self
No,
determination
nothing.
mean I say now only one of that side they determine them. So if they want determine our future, election no be there for the two side. It must then have our side because now they talking about our own future. So, Master Eugene, we don't come for the end for this program. One, thank you so much that you don't take your time come for here, but thank you for AGC, how they don't left you, say me you can't sit down for here, explain them for we auditing them. If you talk your own thank you too, so that we close, and then I think say na order about the question, because how they answer questions, that's a question that will come to, and then because of time, we need to stop them, because we know say, we na patron for the chairman, I have a choge for go talk here and tapang I about tanku, and then also, some I think I don't know whether success in Congo and so another activist to be able to make your own prayer time too today for internet. So we'll finish fast. So that we'll go. I want you the last talk for Salok and talk say bye bye and then we'll feel close, we'll go.
Well, I want to tell what people they say, country people, freedom is coming, independence is near. The republic is done, completely done. We have to keep our resistance. This is not time to give up. And like I was saying, we are the ones to free ourselves. We are the change we have been praying for, and we have to bring the change. We have to make the change. We have to fight. We have to sacrifice with our blood. We have to sacrifice with our own life. If I fall today, I always want to end this show. If I fall today, about Daniel and the rest of all, I don't expect people to give up the struggle. We have to fight to the end. If you stop, then you only betray my sweat and my blood. So we are fighting, and for those who have gone before us, we pledge to them that we are going to fight till we get to Boya. We are not going to give up, and we should not give up on them. So I only pray that let's support our struggle in any way that we can do. Let us be more nationalistic. I would call on more activities, more vigorous activities around Ambazonia to make the place ungovernable, cut the bridges, block the roads, dig trenches, and do anything you can do to make your place ungovernable. And we are telling the international community that we are at war. And there will be no election in Cameroon. There will be nothing that's going to happen until we get out of that demonic government. So this struggle is real. It's not a joke, and we are almost there. So I will call on every person that we are the ones we have been praying for. We are the generation that we have been praying for. That now when we'll get freedom in, when freedom will come in, now, and I will be the one for bringing that freedom. I will get for complete the mission. Whenever we pass this thing down for another generation. We are the generation to do so. Let us change that mindset. What we have to do now, what are we doing to get that independence? We are not dreaming anymore or waiting for anyone to come. We are the ones to do. And the struggle is very short. And Boya, we shall meet soon in Boya. We shall meet soon in Tigo Down Beach. We sit down and talk very soon. Let's keep the struggle.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eugene. We hope some time again we'll see come back here. We'll continue to read them again. Plenty things never talk them. So as our wise saying for today, when I the same wise saying we'll be getting for last week, I mean I say, man we sabi dance, you need the dance now for cheer. Man wey sabi
Exactly.
dance, he need the dance na for chair. Comot dance me all man begin see a style. He go to for all man wey they say no do dey for Facebook and for WhatsApp they talk. Show your thing by supporting any group. Now when a person for na talk man for AGC dey here, una support them Changshu people them una also support una own group them. But today we talk say man wey sabi for dance, me need the dance only for chair. Take action. No don't begin dey only to talk for here, to talk for this. You no go change anything. Take action. So thank una. God bless una. We pray say me the struggle will be short. Me freedom for Ambazonia it be long. God bless una all.